Hey everybody, welcome to The Mountain Gamer. Today we are taking a look at an expansion I made for Runebound 3rd edition called Obliteration. And in Obliteration you will be facing off against a giant centipede that is roaming across Terrinoth, destroying everything in its path. It will grow and grow and grow every turn and make its way across the land. And you will have to attack this thing every once in a while if you want to bring its health down to a manageable stat for you to engage it then when it comes to villain combat, if that makes any sense. So I'm doing some things here that I've never seen done in Runebound, just because. There you go. Yeah, I don't know why I keep making content for Runebound. I just love it, and I find the system easy to deal with. I don't know. It's just something I do. Instead of mowing the lawn. Now, I did play a whole game of this myself, but I did not record the whole thing, even though this video is kind of, very long. Use the timestamps, okay? What I did is I only recorded the bits that had something to do with the scenario itself. Stuff like that, okay? I didn't want to go through normal rounds and whatever, because these things are long to shoot and long to edit. So let's get into it right now. Obliteration for Runebound 3rd edition. Alright, so let's start with what you need to print out and all that. So you will print out a double-sided cardboard rules sheet here. I mean, you could do this on 2 if you want, or on, a single page, or however you like. I decided to stick 2 together, so you'll need that. Now we'll get into that a little bit later. You will need the boss card. Now this is a 2-sided, so either side 1 and side 2, because he will get more of these pucks and his health will change and his abilities will change. Again, we'll get into that later. You will also need a token. Now, I've taken the time to actually make this token here, but you can use anything. You'll need something to represent the centipede's head, and this is what I'm using. I'm also using like a bingo token here as the target space, or the destination token. I'll show you that later. And you'll need, of course, some pucks here. Now, I know this is kind of a bummer for people who don't have these coin protectors. I don't know what to tell you. You can try making tokens, or you can maybe take some of the coins, maybe write stuff on it if you want, just to toss them as if they were tokens. But if not, then please do yourself a favor and invest in these things. These don't cost a lot. I think it's like, somewhere between 10 and 20 bucks. And you'll get enough to cover all of the tokens that you own. And I have 2 expansions and it covers everything, right? So that's that. You'll also need to print out one of these per player. Now I've got 4 because, you could, potentially play with 4 people, but I'll be using just 1 today. This is like a state that you'll be getting poisoned, pretty much like you would in Descent, something like that. So keep one of those handy. You will also need what I call the centipede path. So there's path 1 and path 2. See here, there's a correction here, but yours will look nicer. And you can use, a little clip like this to just see, where you are. So that's that. You will also print out a Terrinoth Shaman. This is a special enemy that's going to pop out in the 2nd act. And on the back here, there's a spawn chart, because I will have him spawn somewhere on the map, all depending on a die roll. Now you will also need to print out these 4 custom enemies, okay? Because what's going to happen is anytime in the game where you're supposed to draw from this combat deck, I will have you roll a die, and I don't know if it's a 1 or a 2. Instead of drawing from here, well, you'll pick one of these at random. This is just my way of basically inserting these cards into this deck without having to physically do that. So there's 4 of those. Now, I have also made some roaming enemies for this particular scenario. I've got the Terrinoth Axemen and the Megapede Swarm. Now, technically, you don't need to print these out, okay? This is if you're playing with the roaming enemies variant, which is a fun variant. But if you don't like this variant, if you don't want to play with it, you could, just not use that and not use these enemies. That being said, my thing here, okay, see, before drawing a combat card, I was talking about that before, roll a d6. On a 1 to 3, fight a random scenario enemy, okay? So if you roll a 1 to 3, you know you're going to fight one of those enemies that I showed you. Then you would roll the die again to determine which enemy. So see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Actually, 1, 2, 3, 4 are the 4 that I showed you. And then 5 and 6 would be these. So you know what, actually print these out, but don't use them as roaming enemies, use them as scenario enemies, okay? So again, if you don't like this variant, you don't have to play with it. Now, you do not need the Benefits of Civilization variant, but I will be playing with it because me likey, so there you go. And if you remember correctly, this is basically like when you spend the night at one of these 3 places, you can get some funky nice stuff. And also, if you pay 2 actions and 2 gold in a city, you can teleport to any other city. Powerful stuff. And then there's, you know, the easy mode variants. I will not be playing with the prologue. Easy exploring, I will spend an action to flip a green gem instead of 2. More assets, cities have 4 goods, of course, always. Refresh assets, you can spend an action to refresh cards in cities, that's always good. And villain combat actually will be addressed later, because even if you do like this, my rules card will instruct you to do differently. And last but not least, you will need the story deck. Now, I have sleeved those with backs from Pandemic Legacy Season 2, okay? And you might notice now, and this is probably annoying you to no end, but what can I say? See, this is the standard size for a Runebound card, and this is the size for my cards. The reason I'm doing this is I have a butt ton of cards that are this format, and I do use them to back, so, and I have a butt ton of these sleeves. So yeah, that's just how I roll. So, you will need to print this out. So this is a 2-sided one, and then all of the others, no spoilers here, but this is all story. And then you've got the story conclusion, which is a 2-sided card. So when you set up, you'll put the story conclusion here, you'll shuffle the rest, put it on top, and then you'll put this card on top. Because you see this here, it says this is the first story card. Draw it at round 2, act 1. And then you'll read some stuff, you'll flip it over, and some stuff is going to happen. And at the end, so when you win or lose, so it says story conclusion, this is the last story card, drawing it ends the game, win or lose. And when you flip it, it'll say if you've defeated the centipede, blah, blah, blah. If you have failed, blah, blah, blah. I found that this was lacking in the original Runebound. You know, you spend 2-3 hours, you know, fighting a monster, and then you chuck your last token, you take away his life, you're like, yay, high five. But, you know, does the story end? I mean, yeah, but it doesn't feel like there's an ending. So I tried to fix that. And what you will need, I suppose, unless you really want to control the enemy yourself, is these combat boards. Now, I used to have ones that were like smaller, that I had printed off of BGG, and they were fine, but I decided to change them up a little bit, make them nicer, and I changed some of the effects, just a tiny bit. And this was based off of me comparing these fan-made ones with the actual ones from Unbreakable Bonds, and I was finding, I don't know, I didn't like the guy who made the original ones did a great job, but again, there was 1 or 2 things where I was like, I don't feel like this enemy is doing what it should be doing. So I played with it a little bit. Again, not a lot. This is mostly just me being nitpicky. So I'll put a link to those. You can print these out. These are super useful, even if you don't play co-op, okay? So please do yourself a favor, print these out. I will also be playing with my Caves variant. You do not have to play with this. This is just fluff. And you might notice the stack is big, right? Well, that's because I've made about 20-something new ones. Oh, this is just for me to remind me that I've done these and I haven't done these. I keep it like that. Yeah, I've actually I came up with about 20 or 24 more cave cards, and I'll be making a video on that shortly if you're interested. But you don't have to play with that. If you don't know what cave cards are, it basically enables you to go in like under the map, right? So let's say you'll go into an uncivilized mountain hex, let's say this one here, and you'll enter the cave. So you'll lay your figure down, and you're considered to be on a mountain hex, but you're like under the city, right? Under the whole map. And you'll draw cave cards, you'll have little adventures, and you'll get goodies and baddies. And then once you're done, you can exit anywhere on the map that has an uncivilized mountain hex. So you could exit, I don't know, like if there's a mountain up there, you could exit all the way up here. It's just a way to have more adventureness in Runebound. So now we can look at setup here quickly, but I won't go through all the rules, okay? What's actually going to be happening in this video is I'm going to be playing a game of Runebound for myself, but I won't be shooting all of it, okay? Because it's just way too long to shoot and edit and all that. You've seen my other videos. This, it could last for like 3-4 hours. So I'll be playing for myself, and when I get to points in the game where, something has to do with the centipede and the rules and all that, well, then I'll record that bit, and you can see how that works. But for now, if we look at the setup here, okay? So reserve 24 tokens, the black tokens. These are going to be body parts. And you'll reserve one special token for the head. I've shown you this token before. Then at setup, each hero starts with one winged boots asset. This is this thing here. This will enable you to move on the map easily. Then you will use side 1 of the Centipede villain card. I showed you that too. You will use dice to track its HP stats. Say what? Yeah, don't bother with the tokens, okay? Because this thing here has 24 health if you're playing with 1 player. If you're playing with 4 players, it's got 92 health. What? Are you insane? Okay, we'll get to that later. I am insane, but you'll see I'm not. And yeah, so you're going to track its health because this thing cannot go above what it says here. Like if you're playing solo, it'll never go above 24. But it can go lower and it can heal. It'll go up and down throughout the game. So do yourself a favor, just put a bunch of dice on here to track it. And then later, yeah, same thing, 24. Okay, we'll get to that later. So get that card, get some dice, get it moving. And then it'll say put the 4 scenario enemies in the pile next to the combat deck, which I just did back there. So that's pretty much it. I mean, we can look at the winning conditions here, you know, where players lose if half the players rounded up die in villain combat. Or if Centipede is alive when the heroes draw the last story card, which is again at the bottom here, this last one. So if you're flipping this and you're reading it and the Centipede is still alive, you just lost, buddy. Okay. As for the rest, no, let's not get into this right now. Okay. Let's just not. So I'm going to set everything up with my hero and all that, and I'll start playing. And I will basically come back when I reach, you know, round 2, act 1, this first space here. So there you go. I'll set up my hero and everything, and I will see you right back.
Later.
All right, I've just finished round 1, so this is who I'm playing with, and this is my situation. So I've got the Red Scorpion here. If you don't know her, she's from the Gilded Blade expansion, and she's pretty cool. She's got some very balanced stats here. Her special power here, outmaneuver. When you spend a tactics, you may exert to remove the copied token from the combat round. So not only are you copying the token, you're also removing it from the round. So that's going to be pretty powerful against an enemy. And then here for 1 surge, Flurry of Blades. Deal X amount of axe damage. X is the number of times you have used this ability this combat round. You may use this ability up to 3 times per combat round. So essentially the first time you use this, it's 1, then the second time it's 2, and the third time it's 3. So that's what she does. She's got 8 health, represented by these things. I had her start on a town. She started with $2 and 4 cards, and I was so happy that I drew this. Now, if you don't know this card, it's probably the best one. According to me, you can have 2 weapons instead of 1. And I also managed to get a trophy. So there you go. And now it's the end of the round, so we're moving to the start of round 2. So we start round 2, and now we have to go read this card here. Okay, so Obliteration. The rumors came down from Frostgate like a gelid wind. The Puroto rise again. For over 13 centuries, the ice-dwelling first peoples of Terrinoth were thought to be extinct, but now they have returned to claim the land that they believe has always been rightfully theirs. In order to prepare for their coming, the Puroto, through their powerful shamans, have gained the favor of an ancient deity known as the Centipede. Towering as high as a mountain, this mighty behemoth has been summoned for a single purpose: to obliterate the place you call home. To make matters worse, the arrival of the Centipede has brought large insect-like creatures out of hiding, and strangely, they seem to consider the giant deity as some form of biological overlord. Ruh-roh. Alright, so we're going to spawn 5 roaming enemies out on the board. Again, if you don't want to use that, you don't have to use that, it's fine. Next it says if you ever, encounter one of these enemies, you can roll a die to find out if you're going to encounter, either this guy or these guys, okay? Next you will put the centipede head on the cursed ruins and add 3 body parts behind it going north. And next you'll randomly choose path 1 or 2 to set a destination. And centipede movement starts the next round as per rule sheet. This should actually say the centipede movement will start at the end of this round as per rule sheet, okay? We'll get into that. So let's see how this centipede looks. Okay, so as per this sheet here, we'll put the centipede head on the cursed ruins. Let's have it pointing that way. And we'll add 3 body parts behind it going north. So of course, north is that way. So 1, 2, and 3. Okay. So this thing is a giant centipede, much like in the video game Centipede, if you remember that. Now this thing is going to move around the map and it's going to grow every time it moves, okay? And you know you've got about 24 body parts, right? So this thing can get pretty huge. So now I think we got to talk about, so what are the body parts and what's happening and all that, right? Okay, so first off, if we look at the left side here, it says a hero that enters a hex containing any part of the centipede takes 5 damage and gains poisoned. So yeah, you don't really want to enter a hex containing a part of the centipede. I mean, you could, right? You could essentially enter that hex, gain poisoned, and take 5 damage. Okay, pretty bad. Let's keep reading here. Here it says, whenever you're told to destroy a body part, you'll flip the black token to its white side. The body part is now considered destroyed and off the map. So if ever you destroy a body part, again, we'll see, how that works. But if you destroy it, you flip it, and this now gives you access to move through it. It's like this thing is not even there, okay? Now you're saying, why don't you just remove it? Well, there's a reason for that. Okay, let's keep going. So adventure gems. Adventure gems covered by any centipede part cannot be accessed. So, like this guy here, you can't flip that. It's basically covered by this giant centipede. Now we can go at the end of each round here, but let's not do that now because it's not the end of a round, it's the start of a round. So let's flip this thing over. So we've got some new actions here, okay? First of all, destroy body part. It says destroy body part. Action. Any hero adjacent to a body part may spend 1 action to try to destroy it by succeeding at a strength test. On fail, gained poisoned. Okay, so essentially you could be adjacent, you'd do your strength test, and then you would destroy a body part. Basically flipping it over and then, giving you access to cross over. So that's one action you can do, is to destroy a body part. But the main thing you'll be doing throughout the game is the weaken centipede action, okay? So let's read this. Weaken centipede. Action. Until the Puroto Shaman are spawned, and these guys will spawn at the start of Act 2, Round 9, okay? It says here, spawn Puroto Axeman. So basically, until the start of Act 2, Round 9, okay, once per game round, a hero adjacent to the centipede's head may spend an action to engage it in a special combat. Okay, this isn't villain combat, this is a special combat. And here are the rules. Heroes cannot engage a centipede as a party. That's if you're playing with, more than one person, of course. Combat only lasts 1 round, then ends. Which means, it'll go, then you'll go, and then we're done. When all the tokens are gone, you're done. You're not going to start another combat round. Damage done to the centipede is permanent, tracked with dice throughout the game. This is the major difference with this scenario, okay? That's why I'm telling you track this health with dice. Because you'll put a value of 24 on it. You'll engage it in a special combat. You'll do 5 damage. Well, you'll take away 5, and that health will remain on that card throughout the scenario. So what I'm going to have you do is every once in a while, you'll want to go up to this guy and hit him in the face a little bit just to weaken him, okay? Because if you don't do that throughout the scenario, you will not win at the end. The idea is to bring him down to a manageable health so that when he flips, that's going to be his health. Because if you don't do that, if you don't bring him down, he's going to be at 24. When you get to, villain combat, okay? He's going to be at 24. So what you want to do is bring him down to minimum 12 per player, so 12. So you cannot bring him down lower than 12. So that's going to be the idea throughout the game, is to just hit him every once in a while. Hopefully that when this thing flips, you're at a manageable health situation. So let's keep reading here for the special combat. So tracked with dice, okay? If the hero is defeated in combat, they are not eliminated from the game, because this isn't villain combat, it's a special combat. After combat, if the centipede's health was decreased by at least 3 HP, the hero may destroy 3, 2, 1, 1. Okay, you're going to see this a lot. This is in like a lot of games. So this is 1 player, 2 player, 3 player, 4 player, okay? So you may destroy, in this case, 3 body parts from anywhere on the centipede's body. So if you manage to lower him by at least 3, you get to take away some body parts, which is good, from anywhere in the body. Okay. Note also that until the Puroto Shaman respond, Centipede HP cannot go below 12 times number of players. Again, you saw this icon here at the bottom. Okay, and that's that. Okay, so this is an action you can do. Now, knowledge tokens, we're going to skip that because these are part of the Shaman. This is at the start of Act 2, Round 9, but essentially what's going to happen there is you're going to flip the Centipede card over. So, yeah, so he's going to change. You'll spawn some Shaman, and you can no longer do Weakened Centipede. So you want to bring him down to a manageable health before you reach Act 2, Round 9. Then at the bottom here it says, well, we should get to that later, but the whole idea with these body parts is if there are too many on the map, okay, something bad's going to happen. So let's see here. When drawing the last body part, demolish all civilized hexes covered by body parts. And you're going to mark this with tokens, okay? Next, all heroes become delayed. Then, all heroes test Spirit -1. On fail, hero is defeated. You're not going to be removed from the game or anything because it's not villain combat, but your health is going to be at 0. And finally, remove the next story card from the game without looking at it. So essentially, you'll be delayed, you'll lose your health, and you'll lose a story card, essentially making you lose time, right? Because you have to kill the centipede before you draw the last story card. And then it says from now on, whenever the centipede head or body enters a civilized hex, demolish it, okay? Demolished hexes can no longer be entered or occupied by heroes in any way. So essentially these civilized hexes, it's like they're ripped out of the map. They don't exist anymore. So you don't want this to happen. I mean, you could have it happen. It's not the end of the world, but essentially you're going to lose a few civilized hexes, and essentially you're going to lose more of these civilized hexes anytime the centipede moves over it, and you'll lose time, and you'll lose health and time, so, yeah, you know, nope, sorry, I hit the camera there. So essentially you don't want this to happen, right? So for now, okay, our centipede has 3 body parts and a head, and its health is at 24. So 24, right on the card. And now we gotta choose path 1 or 2. So we've got 1 or 2. Now you can roll a die or you can flip this card, and let's just do, and let's say we'll stop in 3, 2, 1, stop. So path 1. Okay, cool. So this is gonna be all of the spots where he's gonna try to hit, okay? So what we're gonna do right now is we know that, you know, he's gonna try to reach this place, 1 hex southwest of Cursed Ruins. So what I like to do is get this token to just indicate where he's actually going, so I know this as I play the game. So 1 hex southwest of Cursed Ruins. So we've got the Cursed Ruins here, so southwest would be, you know, north, south, southwest, right? This would be southeast, northeast, northwest, so 1 hex southwest. So he's gonna try to go here, okay? So let's just aim him that way. Now you'll see this is like right next to where he is, but it could have been further off, right? Like the destination could say something like, I don't know, let's say it could be Tamalier, right? So in this case, you'd put this here and you'd turn him that way. The destination is always going to be like in a straight line. It's going to be like straight line, target, straight line, target, straight line, target. It's relatively easy to understand. You'll see as we play. So 1 hex southwest of Cursed Ruins. Let's do that. So that's it. So now he's on the board, he's set up, so I can essentially start attacking him if I want. Now, I don't think I would do that right away because, you know, it's the start of the game and I'm not particularly buffed up enough to do that. So I'm going to keep playing, and as soon as I meet up with an enemy or anything that has to do with the centipede, I'll come right back.
1 week later.
All right, it's the end of the second turn, so before I actually end the turn, we'll look at the card here. I'll actually put this on screen, okay, so you guys can see. So it says here, at the end of each round, between Benefits of Civilization and the Roaming Enemies phase, you will do the following. So first, you will mend the centipede. This means you will flip over all white tokens along the centipede's body. Then remove the same quantity of black from its tail end. Wait, what? Okay, this basically means that if for some reason, okay, I had destroyed this body part. Remember, when you destroy, you just flip it, okay? And then you can move through it. It's basically like if it wasn't there. So when you mend the centipede, you will flip all of the white tokens, in this case, okay, so you'll flip it back. And then you'll remove the same quantity of tokens from the back end of the centipede. So I flipped 1, I'll remove 1. Now you might be saying, well, why don't you just remove that one and I tried a lot of things, and this is the simplest way, because believe me, when the centipede is super long and you have, you fought like its body all over the place, it can become pretty tricky. So really the easiest thing is there's 3 that we destroyed, flip them back and just take 3 out from the back end. It works smoothly, believe me, okay? So first thing you do is you mend it. In this case, we're not going to mend it because we didn't attack it. Then it says check the centipede's destination, set one if needed, but we have one, we don't need to set one. Next, move the centipede head 1 hex in a straight line toward the destination. Well, in this case, 1 hex in a straight line is right here. If it had been here, we would just go boop, like so, okay? Then it says always place a black token behind the head whenever it moves. Okay, so let's actually do this. So it's going to move here. So let's remove that. Always place a black token whenever it moves. Brilliant. Then it says when drawing the last body part, see the asterisk on the reverse of this sheet. We read that. That basically tells you that a lot of civilized hexes are going to get destroyed and you're going to waste a lot of time. It's going to be bad. Then it says if the supply is empty, you still move the head forward, then add black body parts by removing them from the centipede's tail end. I don't see this happening in the game, but honestly, if it happens, it means you've spent, like, there's 24 body parts, okay, on the map, and you still need to move this thing. Well, then move it and then take the last one and put it here, okay? Just like in the game Centipede, basically, when you see this thing going bloop, 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 okay? If it can help you visualize things. Then it says, centipede always stops upon reaching its destination, even if it would have movement left. And you're like, what do you mean movement left? You're telling me to just move it once at the end of each round. Yes, but remember, there are story cards, and most of these story cards will say, hey, move this guy twice. So, if the destination was over here, yeah, he'd go boop, boop, he would move twice. But if the destination was over here, well, even if it says move twice, you just move him once. Because, as it says on the card, the centipede always stops upon reaching its destination, even if it would have movement left. So there you go. Then it says if centipede moves onto a roaming enemy, you remove it and you put it on exile peak. Okay, if ever it eats up one of these guys, well, this guy just is going to regenerate on exile peak. If centipede moves onto a hero, remove the hero and put it on Madman's Pass, which is a shrine. So for some reason, if you're dumb enough to stay here, and you know that the centipede is going here, let's say because you've put this thing, let's say here, right? Like the destination is here, you're dumb enough to end your turn here. Well, if the centipede moves, like so, well then your hero, if this is your hero, he's going to be put on a shrine somewhere, he's going to be defeated and delayed, okay? So you don't want to do that. That would be bad. It's just a waste of time. This would go here, right? Yeah. Then it says also do this if a hero figure is on a hex containing a body part after the centipede is done moving at any stage of the game. So let's say you're here at the end of a round, okay? You're going to mend the centipede, which basically means, flip that over and then remove a body part, okay? And then you'll actually have him move. So you're now on a black body part, see? It says if a hero figure is on a hex containing a body part after the centipede is done moving, you do the same thing. So this guy is going to get sent to the shrine, is going to be defeated and delayed. Essentially, I do not want you to end your turn on a black body part, and I do not want you to end your turn, with this guy hitting you in the face. It's just, you don't want to do that. So I'm gonna make it hard for you. So let's put all this back the way it's supposed to be. And then at the bottom here it says keep track of the centipede's destination, both current and next. Now, this seems like a lot, right? But essentially, every time you move it, you'll just go through this list very fast and you'll realize that it's really not that difficult. So that was that. That's what you need to do at the start of each turn. But again, you're not going to do everything, because if you don't need to mend the centipede, you just don't do it. You just move it. You move it one, you put a black body part at the back, and that's basically it. The rest is just strange conditions that could happen if you're in the way and stuff like that. So you would do Benefits of Civilization, then you'd move the centipede, and then you'd do your roaming enemies. And I will be doing roaming enemies because they're on the board, but I will not bore you with that. And now, of course, before I start playing, you can actually check the centipede pass. You can check this at any time. So, we know that next he's going to go to Dawnsmoor, okay? So we can take our target token here and put it on Dawnsmoor. Dawnsmoor is way at the bottom here. So we now know that he's going to do this long stretch here. He's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, right? So that's going to be a while before he reaches Dawnsmoor. Fine. So now I know where he's going. I'm going to keep playing.
3 days later.
All right, we're back. I'm now in the end of round 3, okay? We're past the Benefits of Civilization. Now I should do the Centipede. So Centipede's got to move, and it's moving towards that way, right? So it moves here, 1, and of course there's a roaming enemy. So as it says on the sheet, we'll remove it and put it on XL Peak. Brilliant. And of course every time you move the centipede, you put a black body part. And that was that. Alright, just wanted to show you that quickly. I'm going to keep playing. I'm, by the way, over here at Forge, and I just bought myself a notched axe. I had $5. I mean, it's not the best weapon in the world, but I'm thinking I could probably go kick some butt and show you some enemies. So that's probably what I'm going to be doing next round. So I'll be back in a bit.
2 hours later.
Okay, people. So I've moved this guy. It's now, that was the end of round 3. So we're going to the start of round 4, and it is a story space. So that means we got to draw a story card. All right, let's do this. Creatures great and small. Each day you come across large insect-like creatures that silently but fervently swore allegiance to the centipede. You are always on the lookout for the oversized shadow of some millipede waiting to ambush you. But what you weren't prepared for was a surprise attack by thousands of regular-sized insects, targeting both you and your equipment. Okay. Immediately move the centipede 1, 2, 3, 4 hexes toward the destination. Again, this refers to the number of players. Now it could say, 2, 3, 3, 4, something like that, but now it says 1. So immediately move the centipede 1 hex towards its destination. Again, the destination is towards Dawnsmoor, so 1 hex. And anytime you move this guy, well, you gotta put a body part at the back. Okay, let's keep going. Then it says, each hero in the wilderness either suffers 3 damage and gains poisoned, if possible, or discards their winged boots asset. Ugh, I like me some winged boots, though. Now, I am in the wilderness right over here, right? There's nothing here. So I gotta either take 3 damage and gain poisoned or lose my winged boots. I don't want to lose my winged boots, and honestly my health is at 8 on 8, so I will take poisoned. So now is the time to look at poisoned. Alright, so you'll take this card, put it in front of you. So what does this say? It says poisoned, ongoing, lose 1 health at the start of your turn. So every time you start your turn, you lose 1 health. To remove, spend 1 action in any civilized hex. Okay, so essentially this isn't too bad. You can have this on you for a while, but essentially you'll drip out, you'll bleed out, okay? You're poisoned. Now it says here, instantly lose poisoned if you become defeated. So if ever your health goes down to 0, well then you get rid of this card. Okay, I guess that's one way. And then it says, if instructed to gain poisoned while you have this card, take 1 unblockable damage. Okay. So yeah, so basically, this is bad. Okay, so I'm keeping this. Now this was the start of the round, okay? Now I still do have to start my turn. So because my turn is starting, I will now lose 1 life. So I have 8 life, I'll bring it down to 7. Like so. Alright, so I'm gonna keep playing, and we'll come back when something funky happens. I almost forgot, I need to, suffer 3 damage and gain poisoned. So 3 damage. So 3 more, so there'll be 1, 2, and then 3. So see, I'm down to 4 on 8 already, which is pretty bad.
8 hours later.
All right, we're back. This is the end of round 6. So we're now in the centipede phase. So we have to move the centipede 1 hex, which now means that it has reached its destination. So we have to check for a new destination now. And he was at Dawnsmoor, so he's going now at 1 hex southeast of Dawnsmoor. So the next place is going to be southeast, so this way. All right, now you see he covers Dawnsmoor, and he's going to keep moving and all that. So essentially there's always going to be a body part on top of Dawnsmoor, which means that if I want to go there to shop to buy something, it's going to be a bummer. Because if you look at the rules right here, a hero that enters a hex containing any part of the centipede takes 5 damage and gains poisoned. So I can go to Dawnsmoor to shop, but I'll take 5 damage and I'll gain poisoned. And don't forget, I also have to get out of there before he moves, because if the centipede moves onto a hero, remove the hero and put it on Madman's Pass. That hero is defeated and delayed. So if you want to go shop, you gotta go in, take your damage, take your poisoned, okay? shop, and then get back out. Because if you don't get back out, you'll get, sent all the way down to Madman's Pass, which is like way down here, and you'll be delayed and defeated and all that. So essentially, having the centipede cover the places that you love is a bummer. Just thought I'd let you know that. All right, so I'm going to keep playing.
The following Thursday.
All right, it's the start of round 7, so I'm going to draw a story card. Now, the new destination is Market Town, all right? So it came down like here, it turned, and now it wants to go whoop, all the way over here. And now if you notice here, I've got, I believe, 11 of these body parts, and there's only 24 in the supply here. So I'm like halfway there, right? So I'm going to have to start attacking this thing pretty soon, because remember, when I attack it, if I do at least 3 damage, I can remove some body parts. And in a 1-player game, see if I do 3 damage, that's 3 body parts that I can, take back to the supply. So I might have to do that pretty soon. But for now, it's the start of this round here, so we're going to draw a new story card. Okay, we've got Taking Its Toll. Every day, the centipede destroys another 100 hectares of land. Every day, you'll learn of thousands dying beneath the creature's massive body. Your mind cannot help being clouded by a sense of inevitability. You can feel the impending doom deep in your bones. Is there still such a thing as hope for Terrinoth? Immediately move the centipede 2 hexes toward its destination. Then the centipede heals. 1, 2, 3, or 4. Okay, this is actually good for us because since we did not attack the centipede yet, it cannot actually heal. Okay, so let's do this first bit. So it moves 2 hexes towards its destination. Destination's up here, so 1, 2. Let's not forget to add some of the body parts. All right. Next, so it would heal, but it cannot. Then it says each hero tests spirit -1, because of course everything is taking its toll. And on fail, you take 2 wounds, then turn 2 learned skills face down until the start of the next round. Okay, so we are feeling pretty demoralized. So let's test our spirit -1. Now, I don't have a lot of spirit. So my spirit -1, that'd be 2 minus 1 is 1. So I'm gonna just get a card from here and hopefully we'll be fine. And we're fine. I did not expect that. Okay, very nice. Okay, cool. Because if we had failed, it would have been 2 wounds. So bringing us down here and also learning, well, let's say this skill face down. Okay, now you might notice I'm pretty high, but that's because, I'm still poisoned, so I am losing health at the start of each turn, but I am high because I ended my turn on a shrine, and when you're playing with the benefits of civilizations, you actually heal damage equal to the value of your highest skill. So my highest skill right now is 2 plus 1 here is 3. So yeah, I did heal a little bit because of that. I didn't get rid of the poisoned yet. All right, I'm still at the start of round 8. What's going to happen now is actually I'm going to take my first action to heal up completely, okay? So I'll bring myself back up to 8. Now, I do still have that, okay? I'm not going to take the action to remove this. I'm going to keep this. I'll heal myself up for 1 action because I'm in a civilized hex. And now I'm going to go engage a roaming enemy. Now, the good thing, okay, with the roaming enemies is you can just walk into their space and engage them as a free action, okay? So if you manage to beat them, then that's a pretty effective way of basically getting a combat trophy and some gold. So my second action is going to be to move here. So I'm going to roll some dice. And I've got, do I have it? I got grass. I need grass, water, grass. I got grass, water, grass. Okay, I'm good. So I'm going to do this. So that was my second action. And now, just as a free action, I'm engaging this guy. So what's going to happen now is I can either engage a Pieroto Axeman. So these are the guys coming down from the north. They want to retake the land, and they have sort of like, not hired the centipede, but sort of coaxed the centipede into helping them. So I can either engage these guys or a swarm of Magipede. So these are like, just big insects who have sort of sworn an allegiance to the centipede. Now, I don't choose who I engage. I need to roll a die. And if it's 1, 2, 3, let's say I engage these guys. And if it's 4, 5, 6, it's going to be the other guys. So 1, 2, 3, it's these guys. Let's do it. It is a 3, so let's engage the Magipede swarm. So the Magipedes are tricksters. So I've got the trickster thing here. We can look fast here at what they do. So if they get 1 surge, which, might happen, it's going to be nab. Steal one of your foe's unused tokens. Priority type is going to be the doubler, the shield, the chicken wing, or the surge. Highest value first. If the value is tied, choose randomly, and then put the token on the combat board for use until round end. It cannot be flipped or recast by any combatant. So this thing will steal one of your tokens and he'll use it on his combat board. And if ever it's 2 surges here, it's going to be Overwhelm. Activate the nab ability text twice. And it does not count as using that ability, because of course you can only use a surge ability once. And that's my way of getting around that. Okay, so that's what this guy does, and if we win here, reward, you get 2 gold, +1, because it's a roaming enemy, always +1 on a roaming enemy, and you take 1 social or exploration trophy from the bottom of the deck. Okay, so let's cast his tokens, and then we'll cast ours. Alright, so these are all the standard enemy tokens. Now, if you're playing with the actual unbreakable bonds, well then you'll get your green tokens, because he's a green trickster enemy. But if you don't have it, you know, like me, then you just toss these brown tokens and you still place them on the green board. And this board is adapted to work with these basic tokens. So there you go. Okay, so he's got 1 initiative here, because yellow means initiative, and he's at +1 because he's a trickster. So, okay, this isn't too bad. Let's go put this on the board. So this goes here, and 1 surge, 2 of these, and a shield. Now here it says +1 to total when blocking damage from a surge ability. So if ever we attack him with a surge ability, well, he's going to get +1 to this shield here. Okay, so not too bad, and let's do us. Now we have these 3 tokens here, okay? And I also have the notched axe, which kind of sucks, but has 2 hits on this side. All right, let's do it. All right, so this is 2 initiative right here, and he's got 2 as well. So in that particular case, we go first. Okay, so let's put this here and see how we want to spend these things. Now, her whole thing here on top is if she has any tactics tokens, but she does not. And she does have the Flurry of Blades. That's, you know, that would give 1 damage. But remember, there's a shield up here. So I think what I do, I mean, this is pretty clear cut, right? I think I would just go right through the shields right away. So that'd be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. These are all the same icon, so I can do that. So that'd be 5. So 1, and then 4. Okay, so not too bad. And then it's their turn, so they would go here, because you always go from top to bottom, resolving what you can, and you only resolve the spaces where there's tokens. You know this. So going down here, we've got the 1 surge. So 1 surge again says nab, steal one of your foe's unused tokens. Now the only unused token we have is a surge here, and it says priority type is doubler, shield, chicken wing, and surge. So he will steal the surge, and then it says put token on combat board for use until round end. So basically he's going to use this to get rid of that, to put that here. Now in this particular case, this will not get to activate because you can only activate a named surge ability once, okay? So basically he stole a token. He nabbed a token, but he will not get to use it. So I guess that's good news. So that was his turn. Now it would go back to us, but we have no more tokens left. So there's nothing we can do. So it just goes back up to him. So from top to bottom here, this has nothing. This cannot activate. And then we go to 2 hits. So we're going here. All right. 6. Okay, then this goes away. We can't do anything, goes back to him, and that's it. Just he's going to spend that for no effect. And we're done. So that was the first round. Okay, so let's do another round. So we'll recast his tokens. Okay. All right, so we got 2 skulls, a dash, a chicken wing, and a doubler. This is called agility, by the way. I call it a chicken wing because, you know, it looks like a chicken wing. All right, so let's put this on the board. And as for us, okay, so I think he's going to get initiative. Yeah. Okay, let's just put that here. So we got a dash, a chicken wing, a surge, and 2 axes. All right, so he wins initiative hands down because this is 1, 2, and 3. So he goes first. So we got the chicken wing here. Now you always got to check because sometimes it's not just a surge. It could be a little wing thing, but there isn't on there. So he will spend that. And it says, flip blank to skull. Can we do it? Yeah, it is. So let's do it. Flip blank to skull. So it goes here. And then it says here, you know, this might have changed from like the older versions that you might have found on BGG. It says, if not applicable, flip the foe's highest value token. Value, okay? So if you had a 1-axe and a 2-axe, well, you'd flip the 2. And then there's a priority type, so attacks, then shields, no other types. So you're going to flip an attack or a shield and nothing else. And if the value is tied, choose randomly. So if it's a 2 attack and a 2 shield, well, choose randomly. And if all of this is still not applicable, well, then you heal 1 damage. Okay, so there you go. All right, so that was them. Now we get to go. But now let's see, what are they going to do later? See, they would try to activate this double shields. That's not going to work. If not applicable, double highest skull. So, okay, so essentially, he's going to double one of those. So it's going to be, let's say, 1, 2, 3, 4. So the maximum damage he can do to us is 4, and we're at 6 life. So we might, you know, survive this, but we have to do 4 attack, because he's at 4 life right now on 8. So what can we do? I have agility that I could use to flip this to a 2. Yeah. That would be 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, okay, we'll do that. So we'll spend the agility just to flip that. And then he would go, and when he goes, he's going to double the skull here. And then we go, and we go 1, 2, 3, 4, spending that. He has no shields. 4, bye-bye, he's dead. So all in all, that worked out nicely. We still have 6 life, and we defeated the Magipede Swarm. So we'll remove this token from the map, so he's not ever going to come back, which is good. And then we get 2 gold plus 1 because he's a roaming enemy, so 3 gold. And then it says take 1 social or exploration trophy from the bottom of the deck. So I'll do that. I'm not going to bore you with what I need, but essentially I can take any of those. So I'll take I don't know, I'll take an exploration here. So from the bottom, boop. So I get a trophy, and then this would just go back up top. All right, so that was combat with a roaming enemy. I'm going to keep playing, and I'll come back when something funky happens.
5 minutes later.
All right, we're back. I'm at the start of round 10, and as you can see here, the centipede is right up in my face, and his destination is actually in my space. So at the end of this turn, if I'm still there, he's going to, you know, bump into me, basically, and I don't want that. But what I want to do now is actually engage him a little bit, okay? Now, my health is at 4, so I'm going to take my first action to, you know, rest in the wilderness, which is not the best. But yeah, I'm going to need some health. So when you rest in the wilderness, you take your 5 dice, and you try to hit the same type of terrain. So grasslands, basically. And so that's 1, 2, 3, 4. So I'm going to heal 4. So bringing me back up to 8. Okay, that's actually perfect. So now that my first action is done, my second action is going to be to engage the centipede. So I'm adjacent to his head, so I can just engage him. So let's do that, and let's fight this guy. Now this is a special combat, and it only lasts 1 round, okay? Now the centipede is on side 1, and that's okay. He's got a 24 life. He will use this token. And let's see here what happens, okay? First of all, deal 1 before combat starts. So right away, I was at 8, I'm going down to 7. So what happens with this guy, okay? Well, first of all, he's a trickster, and we've got this on the right side. So if he ever gets a chicken wing here, he'll do spit. Give your foe poisoned, then apply normal combat board text. Now you see, usually when you spend an agility, you'll do what it says here, but you will not do the combat board text here. But this has you do both. So I might get poisoned, and then he might flip some of my tokens. Next, if he gets a surge, he'll do crush, deal 2 damage, pretty standard. If he gets 2 surges, prescience, deal 2 unblockable damage each time your foe uses a surge ability this round. So this really discourages the surges. And then at the bottom here it says, for each blank at round end, engaged hero tests observation. I never remember the names of these things. And then on fail, centipede heals 1. So if he has any of these blank things at the bottom, he might heal. All right, so again, this is a special combat. It only lasts 1 round. So let's cast his tokens. So again, he's got his special token here that has 2 shields and a surge, okay? And the rest of the normal tokens. You do not use the master token until you get to Act 2, okay? So here we go. Oh boy. Okay, so that's a lot of shields. So let's put that on the board. All right, so he does have a blank, so maybe that'll activate at the end of the round. He's got a 2 shield here. He's got a doubler and another one of those. And he has 1, 2, 3 initiative. Okay, that's pretty bad. So let's see if we can actually do anything here. Okay, we do have a tactics, and a shield, and an axe, and this, which is useless. My. Yeah, that's not very powerful at all. But anyway, he goes first, okay? Because he has more initiative. We only have 1. So going down here, he's going to double shield. Wow, so he's got 4 shields right now. That's horrible. But remember, if you hit him, let's say with just 1 axe, okay? He still has to get rid of tokens to block that. So essentially, when you get rid of this, you get rid of the doubler underneath. So with 1 axe, you're basically going through all of this, okay? So it's not that bad. But what are we going to do? I mean, we could... like if he attacks us for 3, we could spend this as if it were a 2 shield, you know, not too bad. But the whole idea here is the fight lasts just 1 round. And you have to give him at least 3 damage if you want to be able to take out some of his body parts. Okay, if you do less than 3 damage, I mean, he's still going to take the damage, but you won't take away any body parts. So what can we actually do here? Now, I don't have a lot of special powers or anything yet, and this does not allow you to copy any of those. You can only copy symbols that you know, that the heroes have in their arsenal, basically. So this is kind of useless now, unless I spend this as if it were an axe, basically getting rid of that, and then he would attack, I would block, and then I would do 1 attack. And that would be that. Man, I'm not going to do a whole lot of attacks, and I have nothing in my stuff down there that helps me flip any tokens. So you know what? Yeah, okay, so let's say I'll spend a tactics to copy my axe. So I'll, you know, use my axe to attack him, and he will block by spending all of this. And then it goes back to him, so he's got 3. So he gives me 3 damage. I have a shield, so essentially I spend this. He gives me 2 damage. So I was at 7, so minus 2 is 5. So I've got 5 life left. Come on. There we go. And now as far as my stuff, well, the only thing left is this, which is useless, and an axe. So I'll spend the axe to give him 1 damage. So he's going down here. That's just 1 damage. That's bad. And now it is essentially the end of the round, because I can't spend this for anything. And he has that. And on the card it says, for each blank at the round end, the hero tests the eyeball. And on fail, the centipede heals 1. So essentially, he could gain back the health, you know, that I just took away from him if I fail that test. That's horrible. Okay, so we got to test the eyeball. For this here is 2. So let's grab this here. Now, if I fail, he will heal 1. And, oh yes! So he does not heal. Okay, good. So that's it. That's the end of combat. Now, you cannot engage him again this round. This is a once per round per player thing. Ooh, I thought this would have been better. I really wanted to get him lower than that. But clearly, I think this has proven that my character is not strong enough. I don't have enough tokens to manipulate the centipede's tokens, and I clearly don't have enough to manipulate my own stuff. So I'm going to have to beef up more. So that was that. And now you see here at the bottom here it says reward you may train for free. I believe, now this is my card and I'm going to reprint them, okay, but I believe the new one says something like win or lose, you may train for free. So basically when you engage this guy after everything, you can train. So I could essentially do that now. But I won't bore you with that, I'll do it in my own time. And now just to end the turn, my third action is going to be to get away from there because I don't want it to bump into me. So yeah, so I'll move and I'll keep playing. And we'll come back when something funky happens. How many times can I say that?
7 hours later.
All right, we're moving into a new round here. So this is round, what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So the second to last round here of Act 1. And it's a story card, so let's draw one. Let's see what we got here. Dangerous wilderness. More and more each day you encounter oversized rogue insects. You fear that the wilds have become an unsafe place to make camp. Story quest. Put act tokens 1 to 5 on the 5 gold spaces of the time track. Okay. From now on, whenever the time token moves onto an act token, remove it. Then, each hero in the wilderness rolls a d4. On a result of 1 or 2, the hero is ambushed and must fight a random scenario enemy. Roll a d4 to determine which enemy to fight. See bottom of the rules sheet. Reward for this combat yields +1 gold. Huh. Now you see, I'm referring here to roll a d4 and to the rules sheet. Because I essentially want you to fight only 1, 2, 3, or 4, okay? Like these enemies. But if you wanted to, you could roll a d6 and maybe fight the Axeman and maybe fight the Megapede Swarm. It's up to you, honestly. But yeah, okay, so we're going to put some tokens. Now, the Act tokens, I do not use them for anything else in this particular scenario. So this is the only time you're going to use them. So we'll put them on the time track. Damn, so now every time I'm in the wilderness and we hit one of these tokens, I might get ambushed, right? 1 or 2. Okay. Not too bad. All right, so here we go. So we are way down here, okay? So it says on the next gold spaces, but there's no gold spaces down here, so you got to go back up top. So it's going to be 1, 2, actually 1, 2, third one is here, fourth one is here, and fifth one is here. Yep, no more gold, so this one actually serves no purpose. Yeah, that's going to be bad. All right, so as I said before, we're starting here we're starting the second to last round. Now, when we go back to Act 2, this is where you got to check your rule sheet here because you see here at Act 2, Round 9, okay, we'll put a token on the track to remind us of this. But what's going to happen is we'll flip the Centipede's villain card to side 2, and it'll gain its second boss token as well. So yeah, so it'll have different abilities and it'll have one more token. And also, let's just skip this part here, the weakened centipede action can no longer be taken. So it's going to be impossible for us to attack it normally, okay? Instead, heroes may now engage the centipede in villain combat. Now this is proper villain combat. Like if you try to fight this thing and you die and the game is over, okay? So villain combat, spending 1 action while adjacent to it. Combat can be 1 versus 1 or as a party, like in the Margath co-op scenario, okay? It says here also to ignore the retreat variant rules. If any hero retreats from this combat, it ends immediately. Then the centipede heals 6 HP per player, okay? So you can still retreat from this combat if you're feeling too weak or too chicken, but the centipede's going to heal a butt ton. So you might not want to do that. And also, you're going to spawn up some Puroto Shaman. Now, why would you spawn these guys? Well, I mean, okay, these guys are helpful in a way, okay? So you're going to spawn Shaman times the number of players. So in my case, 1. So spawn in a random and different location. There's a Shaman spawn list. And before engaging the Centipede in villain combat, players must collectively fight a number of Shaman equal to at least half the number of players rounded up. So in my case, 1. By entering the Shaman's Hex and spending 1 action. So before you get to fight the Centipede in villain combat, you have to fight off a Shaman. Now these Shaman are, a pain in the butt to fight, but when you fight them, the reward here is you get 1 heart knowledge token, okay? And a knowledge token is, you're going to use these things in combat. This is similar to the lore tokens when you fight Margath, okay? So when you have this, so it says knowledge, okay, heart tokens. You gain this after defeating a Shaman, fine. They cannot be transferred to another hero, okay. Can only be used in villain combat, fine. So the token here, spend this to block any number of skull or damage from a single source of attack. So what this means is, if let's say on the combat board, okay, you've got like 5 skulls, and that's 1 source of damage. So essentially, you could spend 1 token to block like that 5 value hit that you would receive. So that's very helpful, once in combat, but it is still very helpful. So once these guys spawn, you got to go fight one of them before you get to engage the centipede in villain combat. But now all of this is very interesting, but the fact remains at round 9 of Act 2, if I haven't gotten my centipede down a little bit, there's no way I'm going to win that fight. Because again, this is his health right now. This makes no sense. There's no way you can jump into a villain combat and win with that much health on its side, right? So you have to bring it down to close to 12 per the number of players. Okay, the sweet spot would be 12. Because then, 12 in a villain combat, if you've ever played Runebound, is fine. It's manageable. So that's kind of the goal of the scenario, is now I'm gonna have to get beefed up quickly enough and I'm going to go have to engage this guy in this special combat that lasts only 1 round, and I have to try to bring this guy down as much as I can, because if not, I'm not going to be able to fight it in villain combat. So there you go. So yeah, I'm going to keep playing, and we'll come back.
A few minutes later.
Alright, we are at the first round of Act 2. I've just been ambushed by a roaming enemy, and upon rolling the die to determine who I'm going to fight, I have, not selected, but the die has selected the Puroto Axeman. I don't believe I have fought this guy before in this playthrough, so let's have a little bit of a fight. So quickly here, just to have a look. So this is a roaming enemy. He's a warrior, humanoid. It says +2 here if you are adjacent to the centipede, any part of it. And he is not. He is at 2 spaces away from the centipede's body. The Axeman has +1 initiative. Okay. Now he will be using this because it is the Act 2. If he gets 1 surge, it's going to be Stoneborn. Deal 1 damage, and deal 2 more if on a... I wrote mountain instead of mountain. I'll have to fix that. Alright, so deal 2 more if on a mountain hex, or hills hex, because these guys, come from the north, so I'm thinking mountains and hills and whatnot. And if he gets 2 here, Venom Blade, deal 1 unblockable damage, then foe gains poisoned. I just got rid of poisoned. Damn. Okay. And I'm kind of happy to fight him because if I win here, I'll get 1 gold and any type of trophy, and I want to get me some trophies. So let's chuck his tokens first. Now, I did not buy any new weapons as of yet. I'm still only going with the notched axe here, which is probably going to turn out horrible for me, let's be honest. So this is him. Did I roll it? Yeah, it's there. Okay. So he's got 3 of these. And, okay, well, at least this is pretty good. Now, I'm at 8 health right here, and let's hope that's going to be enough. Okay, that is pretty bad. So I've got a shield here, a chicken wing, a blank, and a tactics, which helps me to copy some stuff. So he's going to go first, because, of course, +1 initiative, but like he needs it, right? 1, 2, 3, 4. He's at 5 initiative, which is insane. So let's go down here. He's got 1, 2, 3. +1 to total, so that'd be 4. 4, I can block 1, or I could spend this, actually, to block it, because this can act as a shield. I could do that, or I could keep this for later, and maybe use this to copy... Oh, no, he's going to use that on his turn, so I won't even be able to copy that surge. And I don't see why I would copy this chicken wing here. If I copy this... and I'll use it to flip the axe over? Maybe. Maybe. Okay, so let's take the damage. So he's giving me, we said, what, 4 damage? So -1, so I'll take 3. I'm down to 5. So I'm thinking, okay, I'm going to use this to copy this thing here. Now it does say when you spend a tactics, you may exert to remove the copied token from the combat round. Ugh, I could actually remove that. But I don't want to exert. I do like the stuff that I have. I want to try to learn these skills to boost my health. And this I'm going to keep for sure. Once per combat round, as a combat action, you may remove a foe's blank token to deal the foe 1 damage that cannot be blocked. This is useful because the centipede does have a thing where at the end of a combat round, if he's got any blanks, he'll actually use those blanks. So, I figured this enables me to... not only remove them, but also give the dude a damage. And this thing is, to boost my health, which I think would be useful. So I don't think I'm going to use the outmaneuver here at the bottom. So let's just use the surge to do 1 damage. So that goes right into his face. Now I did forget to put some health on the guy. So he was at 7, and I'll do 1 damage. So he's down to 6. And then it's his turn, so he'll spend that surge to do Stoneborn, deal 1. So he will do that. He'll deal 1 to me. Boom. And then deal 2 more if on a mountain or hills hex. He is not, so that's pretty good. So that is spent. And then it's my turn. I will use the agility here, aka chicken wing, to flip that, and then he'll do nothing, and then it'll come back to me, and I'll do 2, which is pretty good, actually. So 1 and 2. All right. Let's start the second round. Those are his. That's looking... Oh, he's got 2 surges. Okay. And this and that. Chicken wing and a doubler. He's got 1, 2, 3 initiative right now. Oh, my axe. Okay, okay. Well, I got a lot of axes, but not a lot of initiative. Okay. That didn't sound too good. You lack initiative, son. All right, so he goes first for sure. So here, on this one, it says flip blank to double. First choice. But that's not going to happen, right? And then, or skull. So we'll do that. Okay, so this is spent. Now, we can do 3 right up in his face. Or, nah. Yeah, I'll spend this to copy my 2 axes here. So I'll spend this as 2 axes. So boom, boom, dropping him down to 2. Then he'll go to double his surge. Okay, so let's say he doubles that, pushing that down here. Then it'll come back to me. I'll do 3. Bada bing. He is Kaputski. All right, that turned out pretty well, actually. So again, the reward on this dude is 1 gold plus 1 because he's a roaming enemy. So 2 gold and take any type of trophy. That's good. So I'll get me 2 gold and I've got 2 social trophies here. I think I will take... I could take a combat trophy to try to make this first, but then I need 3 other trophies. I think I've got... Yeah, let's do this, because I will be doing more combat against, some random monsters pretty soon, so I think boosting my health would be good, and then that'll give me time to actually collect more trophies to learn this thing. So yeah, I'm going to get a random combat trophy, and actually, I think I'm going to spend these things right now. Yeah, to learn my area of war. Okay, good. So this is done. All right, so I'm going to keep playing, and we'll come back.
A little longer than a few minutes later.
All right, we're back. I'm moving into the first round of Act 2, and I need to draw a story card, so let's do that together. All right, here we have The Behemoth Advances. Last night, you dreamt that you and the ones you hold dear were forced to leave your home and take refuge in a faraway place. When you awoke, part of you understood the pain that the Piroto must have felt more than 13 centuries ago when they were exiled from Terrinoth. Your empathy was short-lived, however, as you felt the ground shaking, a reminder that thousands were currently being trampled to death beneath the centipede's hundreds of massive legs. Alright, immediately move the centipede, see 2, 3, 4, 5, so 2, because we're in a 1-player game, towards its destination. Okay, and then it heals. Horrible. Well, let's heal it first. It says it heals. Well, it heals 1 in a 1-player game. Wow, this thing is now back to its maximum health. I'm going to have to hit this thing before we hit round 9 of Act 2. I'll put this token here on round 9 of Act 2. This is when the Piroto Shaman are going to show up, and it's when you can no longer engage the centipede in this sort of special combat. You'll need to engage it in actual villain combat, which is bad. Alright, so it has heal, but now it needs to move 2. Now this thing is getting huge, and the destination is here right now. So 1, 2. So 1 and 2. Now in my supply, I've only got 4 of these things left. Yeah, boy. So I'm going to have to get busy and, fight it a little bit. I wanted to get better weapons, because it's hard to hit. Alright, so I'll keep playing and I'll come back.
2 hours later.
Okay, we are at Act 2. Round 3, and I'm right here, and I'm gonna attack this guy to try to weaken him a little bit. Now the good news is I in the meantime have had time to buy Immolation, which is in my experience one of the best weapons you can get there. So 2 magic attacks, 1 charge, plus 1 spirit, and then once per combat you may take 1 damage to recast this token even after it has been spent. What? Yeah, I know. Very happy to have that, so I am engaging the centipede in special combat, so let's go and do that. Now, we're still on side 1 of this guy, okay? So he will only be using the 1 token. When he flips over to side 2, and that's at round 9 of Act 2, well then he'll get another token, a little bit different. This one here, right? And that'll make things much, much worse. So, let's see what he gets. Okay. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4 initiative. Okay. He does have one of these things. Damn. These things enable him to heal. So I do not want that. Okay, plus 1 to total when blocking from a surge ability. And a doubler. Okay, so let's see what we can do. All right, well, we're not getting initiative, but we do have some options. Some options? Options. We do have some options here, I think. All right, well, he goes first. That's just a given. So he'll spend the chicken wing. So he'll spend the chicken wing here, but it says here... Oh, and I almost forgot, deal 1 before combat starts. So he will bring me down from 6 to 5. All right, so chicken wing actually here. Spit. Give your foe poisoned. Ah. Okay. Then apply normal combat board text. Okay, so I'll get poisoned. Put that next to my player board. Okay, so then I have to apply the normal combat board text. And this says here, oh, cool, flip blank. Okay, so he does have a blank. So flip blank to, yeah, to skull or attack. Okay, if not applicable, yada, 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 but it is applicable. Okay, so he did that. All right, I've thought about this. I was going to use a copy of my surge here to do a damage, but he blocks +1 for a surge, so that would be completely useless. So what I'm going to do is I'll actually use the 2 damage. Oh, hold on. Once per combat, you may recast one. You may take 1 damage to recast this token. Ah, yeah, ha, 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 ha. Okay, you know what? I'll actually play it, okay, just regular, to do 2 magic damage, which he'll have to block with this. So this gets rid of that. Very good. Next, he'll do Crush, deal 2 damage. Okay, I don't have any shields. I could, you know, spend this as a copy of that, just to block, but I don't... Do I want to do that? I'm at 5 down here. You guys can't really see that. Here. This is my life. I'm at 5. Yeah, I think I probably should. So, yeah, so his thing here, deal 2 damage. I'm going to use this as a copy of his shield. So he'll actually do only 1 damage to me, bringing me down to 4. Okay, now I have to do some damage, so I'll spend this here to do 2 damage, -1. So he's taking 1 damage. I'm going to track the damage with the blue dice here. So 1 damage. Then he's going to double his shield. That doesn't work. He's going to double his attack. So that's going to be 3 attack. I'm at 4. Okay, I'm good. And now I need to damage this guy. Now I could spend this to do 1 damage because that's what my flurry of blades can do. So I could do that. Yeah, and if I don't like the result of my immolation, I'll use that to flip it. Okay, so I'll use this to do flurry of blades. So that's 1 damage, bringing him down, well, bringing him up to 2 wounds on, 24. Okay, then he'll do 1, 2, 3. Bringing me down to 1. My God, I should have healed before I went into battle. Then I'm gonna actually... Oh no, I wanted to take a damage. What an idiot I am. No! No! Aw, man, I'm playing like a total dork. My whole plan was to take a damage. To recast this thing. But now I can't. Oh, you guys, I'm such a dork. Man, okay, well, I'm not going to restart this whole combat just because I'm an idiot. Ugh, this is completely wasted. Okay, that was not, I repeat, not the way to go. Wow. Okay, well, live and learn, I guess. So I'm done. So I did 2 wounds to this guy, so we'll drop this down to 4, get rid of that. So I did not damage him enough to remove any body parts. Because if I had damaged him for 3, I could have at least gotten rid of 3 of those body parts, which was kind of my plan. But it failed. All right. Ah, I'm so angry at myself. All right, whatever. All right, I'll keep playing and I'll come back later. I almost forgot. I'm gonna reword this, but every time you fight him in a special combat, at the end of combat, your reward is you may train for free. So I'm gonna do that now.
Just then.
All right, we're actually like at the very next round. At the start of the round, I got defeated because I had 1 life left and I got poisoned and all that. So I spent, 1 action to heal myself a little bit, then another action to heal myself. And my 3rd action is going to be to engage him in combat again. All right. But now I'm at 8 health. And yeah, maybe I'll learn from my mistakes. So let's try and beat down on this guy a little bit more. All right, baby, it's rematch time. So let's do it. Okay, that's 1, 2. He's got 2 initiative. Okay. This goes here. This is some decent attack. He's got a shield, of course. Oh, 2 surges. Hello. And then the chicken wing. All right, and what do we have? I love chucking tokens. We got 1, 2. So I can go first. Nyaha. Okay, is it worth it to go first? Well, he does have a shield. Okay, so let's look at what he's going to do, because I always get got when I don't read this thing. So he's going to try to flip this to skull, which it isn't. If not applicable, flip foe's highest value token. Oh, so he'll want to flip one of those. So let's say I spend the axes first. He'll want to flip that to, let's say, unblockable damage or charge, which is fine, right? I think that's what I should do. Okay, so I'll do that. And then he'll go 2 surges here, which is prescience. Deal 2 unblockable damage each time foe uses a surge ability this round. Ugh. Yeah, well, I'll use it once, most probably. Okay, and then he'll do 3 damage, then he'll block, and then this might actually heal him at the end of the round here. It says for each blank at round end, engaged hero tests eyeball. On fail, centipede heals 1. I think it'll be okay. I don't want to bore you with math here, but I think it'll be okay. So I'll start with this. So 1, 2, 3, 4, okay? Get your body moving on the dance floor. All right, so 4 minus 1 is 3. So let's do that. Now I just realized I did not give myself 1 damage before combat starts. Okay, I'm at 8 here. I actually need to be at 7. Okay, this is how combat would have started. But it's not going to change the outcome for now, I think. All right, so let's go with this here. So that's going to be spit, give your foe poisoned, then apply normal combat board text. So I'll gain poisoned for later, which is a pain. And then he'll try to flip blank to skull, which he does not have. If not applicable, flip blank's highest value token. Okay, yeah, okay, so he's gonna flip this over to that. All right, good enough. Then it's up to us. We can do that. Oh, actually, I should do this first, because when this activates, see, deal 2 unblockable damage each time foe uses a surge ability this round. So I should actually use this now. Yeah, okay, I'll use this now. So that's 1 damage. All right, pretty good. He's going up. Then it's him. He'll spend this, which does nothing. Now, you could argue, well, you know, because this ability won't do anything this round, should he just skip down, right? But it's like, but would there be, like, how far do you go in the AI's brain? It's like, yeah, but the AI would see your stuff and it would know that you're never going to use a surge ability this round. Meh. I'm going to say I outwitted the guy. So, there you go. He was dumb, just like I was dumb in the previous fight. Next, we can now do... Well, we could do this. Yeah, I'll do this. Okay, so 1 unblockable damage, or charge, as they call it in France. I don't know what I'm saying. All right, and then he'll do 3, which I will gladly take. So let's go 1, and then 2, 3, bringing me down to 4. And then I will take 1 damage. I'll use immolation. I'll take 1 damage, bringing me down to 3 to actually recast immolation. And here we go. Oh, that's exactly what I wanted. Yeah, I'll do that. He'll do nothing. It'll come back to me. I'll spend this for 2. Oh, that's nice. This is pretty nice. So 6, 7, yes. And then this whole chicken wing situation, I could have him recast that. Yeah. That way, you know, he won't get to activate the at end of round healing thingamajig. So you know what? I'll do it. I mean, this, you know, hardly ever works when you try to recast an enemy's token, but here we go. And it did not! Okay. So now at end of round, I will have to test eyeball, and on fail, he'll heal 1. And as far as eyeballs go, I have 2 here. So let's do that. Let's grab this thing here. Come on. Okay. And a 1. Ugh. And a 2. Ugh. Now I could exert. I do have a lot of exertion. So yeah, I'll exert, let's see. I don't think I'll ever do that. So I'll exert this one here. And... oh, yes! Okay, very nice. So this goes away, and he will not be healing 1. So that's good. I did 6 damage. All right, so let's... yeah, 6 damage. That's nice. And now, because I did at least 3 HP damage here, I get to destroy 3 body parts. Nice, nice, nice. So now I could get rid of these things from anywhere. Okay, and this would be a situation where, let's say, I don't know, my friend was over here. If I was playing, you know, with somebody else, I could say, oh, I'll destroy this one because you really need to cross over or whatever on your turn. But, you know, I'm playing alone, so I don't really care. But just for the example here, I don't know, I'll flip over 1 and then 2 and then, I don't know, 3, okay? And that'll give you an idea to see what happens when he heals. Oh, and I did fight him, so win or lose, I get to train for free. So let's go here, 1, 2, 3, 4, because I can actually do 4. That's what I do. What do we got? Just for fun. Just for fun. Tap life. Once per turn, when you would discard a skill to exert, you may take 1 damage instead. Yeah, I don't know. Adventurous. Once per turn, when you gain a green trophy, draw a green card. I don't think it's going to happen this late in the game. Cunning, +2 eyeball. Still, that's pretty... We're mid-game, you know. Meditation, whenever you rest, you might also train for free. I mean, I'll keep one of those that I'll probably use to sort of discard, I guess, later when I need to exert. Okay, so that is the end of the fight and the end of the round. So let's go through the steps here. So between the benefits of civilization and the roaming enemies phase, we'll do the centipede maintenance. Now I don't have any benefits of civilization because I'm sleeping on in the rough, as they say. So if we go through the checklist here, it says mend centipede. So you'll flip over all white pieces along the centipede's body. So 1, 2, 3, let's flip them over. Oops, 1, 2, 3. Then remove the same quantity of black tokens from its tail end. So way up there at the tail end, where it all started, we'll remove 3. So 1, 2, 3, bye bye. So there we go. So this goes back into the supply, and the centipede is now a little bit shorter, buying us a bit of time before, you know, the end of the world. And then why not? Let's keep going. This guy's going to move to his next destination. So we'll add a body part here. And because he's on his destination, we'll actually check the list here, the centipede path, to see where he's heading. So he was at Riverwatch. Now he's going 1 hex south of Shrine of Arts. So Shrine of Arts is here, 1 hex south is here. So that's his new destination. So he's going to go whip that way in the subsequent turns. All right, so I'm going to keep playing. I might fight him again, actually, just to try and get him down a little bit. Yeah, maybe. And actually, I was going to start recording, but we're going to hit round 5 of Act 2, and it's a story space, so let's draw a story card and check it out. Not with a whimper. To your surprise, even in our darkest hour, the Age of Courage shines bright. Strongholds fire hundreds of catapults as the centipede approaches. Towns send gunpowder-filled carriages to meet the giant head-on. The centipede moves 1 hex towards its destination, okay, which is bad, and then destroy 1 body part that is 1 or 2 hexes away from any stronghold or town. You may do this twice. Okay, so the town and the strongholds are, you know, attacking this thing. Okay, that's actually good. So we'll move it 1 hex towards its destination. So 1 hex, we'll need a body part here, because every time it moves, you add a body part. And then it says destroy 1 body part that is 1 or 2 hexes away from any stronghold or town. And I can do this twice. I mean, we've got a town here. We've got a stronghold over here. We've got another town up there. I mean, again, at this point, I'm playing alone, and it's not like I'm trying to cross over anywhere. My next plan is actually to go up to Forge to buy a funky weapon, so I can remove 1 that is 2 hexes away from a town or stronghold, and then I'll do this twice. So you know what? I'll just do this one, and then well, whatever. This is still close to a town, so this one and this one. Okay, so this is going to go at the end of the round, but for now they're considered, you know, off the map, and I can move freely across them. Okay, so that wasn't too bad. I mean, it moved, so like, you know, I added 1, but I sort of removed 2. So a little bit of good, a little bit of bad. All right, so I'll keep playing and see you later.
Several months later.
All right, we're back. We're about to move into round 8 of Act 2, and I just finished combat with the centipede in this special combat. I actually did 7 damage to him, so he's down to 10. He can't be at 10, actually. He's got to be at 12, so there you go. So even with all the damage I did, I still cannot bring him down lower than 12. So he's at his lowest right now that he can be on this side. So it's not worth engaging him anymore, and you can't actually, because, you know, he's at his lowest. You can still take away body parts if you do the remove body part action, but I don't think I'm going to do that. Anyway, I'm recording now, not just for that, but because we're about to move into another story space here. So if you're interested, the centipede now looks like this. It's a little bit shorter than it used to be because I still have 5 tokens left in the supply. Yeah, so let's move down here to the round 8 actually, and let's draw a card. Okay, this says killing and pillaging. The centipede isn't the only thing leaving death in its wake. There are now reports of Puroto axemen attacking defenseless settlements in your area. What will you do? Each hero may help drive away the enemy, test strength -1 to gain a combat trophy, or deliver supplies to the needy, test eyeball -1, gain an exploration trophy, or raise morale and help rebuild. Test spirit -1 to gain a social trophy. Then Centipede moves 1 hex toward its destination. Okay, so all depending on what we choose, we can gain a trophy, which is pretty good. Now all of my stats, I was going to say they're all equal, but they're not though. See, this here I've got +1, and as far as my strength goes, I've got +2. Oh, okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4. I could test strength, get a combat trophy. I don't really care which kind of trophy I get because the things I want to build, you know, they're just these white trophies here. So I'll test strength, right? So 1, 2, 3, 4. I mean, how hard can that be, right? All right, here we go. 1. Well, there we go. Well, 4, actually -1, so 3. But I did have it on the first try. So I will go get one of those. All right, easy peasy. So that was the story card. I will keep playing. And my plan, actually right now... Oh, by the way, this so far did not happen. This was the situation where we would put these tokens on the time track, but it turns out that every time that the time tracker moved down, I took it upon myself to start the turn in a civilized hex because I did not want to get ambushed by the creatures. So there we go. Now that being said, I can show you the custom creatures that I've made. So let's just take a look at them right now if you're curious. So right here we've got the Tentacle. He's got 8 HP, Savage, Giant Insect. If he gets 1 surge, he'll do Drag, deal 1 unblockable damage, and then move your foe 3 hexes in a random direction. So you'll roll a d6, and then you'll use those as cardinal points. So 1 is north, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and he'll kind of move the enemy away. Now, combat will still continue, of course, but basically, you know, at the end of your turn, he will have sort of moved you away from the combat gem where you were. If he gets a 2 here, Pin, deal 2 damage. This combat round, foe cannot spend agility, double, or tactics tokens. So that's a pain in the butt. Yeah, this guy's pinning you down, so you can't do much. And then the reward would be 1 sort of a prepare token, I think they call it. Like it's the bonus action thing. So reward 1 bonus action or 3 gold. Then take 1 combat trophy from the bottom of the deck. So there you go. The other one here is the Spinehide Naga. This guy is the worst. He's a Mystic, 5. He's got +1 armor. Now, armor is not a thing in Runebound, but it is now. Basically, first damage is always ignored. Some monsters in Runebound do have this. They don't call it armor. They just say ignores first damage. But there you go. If he gets 1 surge, Hypnosis. This round, foe cannot use shield to defend. Tactics may still be used. So basically, no shields. Sap Will here for 2 surge. Your foe must exhaust 1 card. Otherwise, they take 2 damage. Now, I say he's a pain because, seriously, getting that first damage negated is just awful. He's really hard to kill. That's why I've put him so low. And the reward is 4 gold or -2 body parts on the centipede. And then you take 1 combat trophy from the bottom of the deck. Next, we've got the Chameleonid here. Savage, Giant Insect. He's got 6 health. For 1 surge, he will do Grapple. Foe tests Strength -1. On fail, copy and remove foe's highest magic or battle damage, I forget what they call it, to deal that much damage to them. If no such tokens, or if test is a success, deal 1 unblockable damage. So basically, yeah, this guy, it's like a tactics. It's basically like my thing here that says outmaneuver. You know, like when you spend a tactics, you may exert to remove the copied token from combat round. So yeah, he'll copy your thing, and then he'll remove it for that round. Number 2, Camouflage here for 2 surge. Heal 1. Okay. Foe tests eyeball -1. On fail, foe cannot spend magic, battle, or charge symbols during this combat round. This guy is all about taking away your tokens and restricting your use of tokens. He's a pain in the butt. As a reward, you'll get 2 gold and train for free and take 1 combat trophy from the bottom of the deck. So he is worth it. And last here, we've got the Cryptopid. He's a trickster, giant insect. He's got 7 life. He's got a thing here called Dazzled. Once per combat round, your foe may spend 1 gold to flip one of their tokens. So it's like, shine gold in this cave dweller's face, and he's like, ooh, shiny. And while he's doing that, you're sort of preparing, right? For 1 surge here, he will deal 2 damage. Now, of course, your card will look better than this. So he'll deal 2 and then lose 1 health to deal 1 more, unless this would defeat you. So he'll sort of hurt himself to hurt you in a frenzy. For 2 surge here, Sting. Foe removes 1 unused shield token from combat. If so, deal 1 damage. So he'll take away your shield if you have it, and then he will hurt you even more. And as a reward, you get 3 gold or -1 body part from the centipede, and then you take 1 combat trophy from bottom of the deck. So there you go. Those are the 4 custom enemies that you will possibly fight in the scenario. Again, what you do is, whenever you're supposed to draw a card from this deck, you'll roll a die, and you might end up fighting one of my enemies. That's just my way of not printing out a whole bunch of cards and trying to stick them in here. So there you go. Alright, so I will keep playing and I will come back.
2 hours later.
Alright, I just finished getting ambushed, actually. Funny I should say that, I never have. But yeah, as I moved this thing down, there was a token here, so I took it off. I rolled some dice, and turns out I was attacked by a tentacle. This guy right here. And I did end up defeating him by the skin of my teeth. I'm now at 3 health, and I'm way over there. Anyways, right now, since this has gone here, we need to address the spawn, this thing here. So, start of Act 2, Round 9. It says here, Act 2, Round 6 if you're using the prologue variant. The prologue is, you can play 3 rounds before the actual start of the game. Okay, but we didn't do that. So it says here, flip the Centipede villain card to side 2. It gains its 2nd boss token. Oh boy. Alright, so we'll do that. Now it's going to keep this, this health, okay? And we'll flip this. Alright, side 2. Let's put this here. And it's going to gain this other token here. Alright. I mean, we can look at what it does now, but this is really once you get into villain combat. Actually, if you want to read it, go ahead, but I'll get into that once we actually get to fight him. Now that being said, the other steps here, okay? It says spawn Puroto Axeman times number of players. So we'll spawn 1, and we'll spawn in a random and different locations for each, but in this case just 1. See spawn Shaman list. So you grab your trusty Shaman card, and on the back, you have a spawn chart. So, it says here, flavor text, defeating the knowledgeable Shamans could provide you with valuable insight on how to defend yourself against the giant centipede. Spawn each shaman in different locations, roll a d6 to determine where. So let's roll a d6. Of course you cannot see that. That is, it's a 1. And on 1 it says 1 hex southwest of Skydown. That is at the butt end of the world. Okay, so let's say we'll use this as a shaman. 1 hex southwest of Skydown. This is the guy we need to go kill. And we are over there. Okay, I mean, not too bad. All right, let's go back to the instructions here. Now remember, when we fight these guys, we'll get a knowledge token, which will help us to defend ourselves in villain combat, okay? But for now, let's go back up here. Okay, so before engaging the centipede in villain combat, players must collectively fight a number of shaman equal to half the players rounded up. Okay, it's going to be 1 by entering the shaman's hex and spending an action. Okay, so I got to go kill that guy before I get to actually engage the centipede in villain combat. Then it says the weakened centipede action can no longer be taken. So that special combat we've been doing that lasts only 1 round, we can't do that anymore. Now we actually, it says here, instead heroes may now engage the centipede in villain combat, spending an action while adjacent to it. So yeah, so now it's the real deal. If you engage the centipede in combat and you lose, you lose. All right, this is the actual thing. You may still do a type of retreat here, but you ignore the variant rules for retreating, which are basically, these things. You ignore this, and instead it says here, if any hero retreats from the combat immediately ends, then the centipede heals 6 HP times number of players. So you probably don't want to do that. Alright, so the Shaman has been spawned. It's now the start of the round, and I'm gonna make my way towards them and have a bit of a fight pretty soon. And now you see, he's way down here, and I'm way over here. And if I want to go fight him, I sort of have to go down here, but I can't really. This is the last hex on the map, so I kind of have to cross over. But if I step into one of these hexes, see, it says here, if I step into one of these hexes, I'll take 5 damage and gain poisoned, which is bad, right? Because I only have 2 lives left, and I already have poisoned. And if you take poisoned for a second time, you basically get a damage, right? So yeah, I'll take an unblockable damage since I already have that. So what I'd like to do is sort of cross over. So my first action is going to be to do this, remove body part. Now to do this, you actually test your strength. And I do have a lot of strength. You've seen I've got 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, I've got 4 strength. So I think I should be good to destroy that. So my first action is going to be this. So no. And yes. Okay. So I will destroy a body part, flipping it over. My second action is going to be to move a little bit. What do we got here? Yeah, actually I can do, let's say, grasslands here, and then water. And then since I'm on a road, I can use any dice that I want. Yeah, so let's say fields, water, and then hills, okay? And now, my third, this is a good situation actually, because I actually have this, which is the extra action thing, right? So my third action is going to be to clear this again. So this is where having 4 actions is really helpful. Oh, all right, on the first try, very good. So I can flip that over. And then with my prepare or my bonus action, I will actually move again. So there you go. What am I, man, I never rolled so much water. Oh, and actually, this is pretty good. I do need water. So water, and then, I got a hills, water, hills. Or what? I can't do water, because I'll take too much damage. And I don't want to exert or anything, because I don't, I like what I have down there. I don't want to exert that. Okay, so I'll just do, water and then these hills. So water, hills. It'll be kind of tough to get out of there and to actually get into here, but, them's the ropes. All right, so my turn is over. And just going through the motions here, we would do the benefits of civilization, but I'm not on the civilized hex. Then we would roll for the roaming enemies. There are only 3 right now on the board. So what I'll do them all at once. I'll roll the white die to figure out how many hexes they move. They will move 2, and then in the direction of 2. Now 2 is actually, if I look on the map, it's that way. It's sort of northeast. So he's going to go 1, 2, 1, 2, and then 1, 2. All right. And next, the centipede will mend. So that's 1 hex here, 1 hex here, or 1 token here. So 2, and then you remove 2. And then he'll move 1 towards his destination, which was here. So let's actually get him. So let's get him onto here. Let's put a body part, and let's see where he's going to next. And he's going, he was at the combat gem at Minora's Teeth. He's going now 1 hex southeast of North Red Bridge. Okay, hold on. 1 hex southeast, so southeast. 1 hex southeast of North Red Bridge. Yeah, that makes sense. It's a straight line. So right there will be his next destination. Okay, all in all, not too bad. And now, of course, this being me playing, I'm in the wilderness, and the token's going to move onto one of these spaces, and I'll have to roll to see if I get ambushed. Dang. All right, now on the card it says to roll a d4, but actually it says on the roll of 1 or 2 on a d4 you get ambushed. But you just roll a d6. So let's say 1, 2, 3, I get ambushed, and 4, 5, 6, I don't. And of course I get ambushed. All right, well, I won't bore you with the details. I'm at 2 health. And then you roll to see who you actually fight. Now I don't have a d4 on hand. Now you'd roll to see who you fight. So see here, 1, 2, 3, 4. You're not going to fight the roaming enemies on this one. You could do it. I mean, it doesn't really matter. Do what you want. But I'll pretend this is a d4, okay? And I'll abide by these numbers down here. So it's a if it's a 5 or a 6, I'll just re-roll. Okay. Okay. Okay, so 1, 2. And on 2, it's a Cryptopid. Now, I don't know if this battle is actually going to work out because I've only got 2 health. So that's not looking good for me. And you know what? I would actually kind of like to die because I'm poisoned. So I figure, you know, if he kills me, when you die, this goes away. So I guess that's a way to kind of make things easier on myself, I guess. But yeah, let's see. Let's try. Let's see what happens. So this guy's got 7 health. He's a trickster. Let's put him up here. All right, trickster, let's do it. 1, 2, oh, 1, 2, and he's got 3 initiative. All of his tokens are here. Let's roll for us. Let's chuck tokens for us. Okay, just zoom out here actually. This one is really on its side. I'm going to recast that because I don't think that's fair to anyone. Okay. So does he still have it? Yeah, he's got 3 initiative. I've got 2. So he'll go first. He has the chicken wing here. He does not have that. Okay, good. So he's going to flip the dash to skull, but he doesn't have that. So it says, if not applicable, flip foe's highest value token. Priority is attack, then shields, then no other types. And then you do something else if the value is tied and all that. So he would flip this. This is the highest value. It's a no-brainer. So he flips that. Boom. Blech. Okay. So that's that. Then it's my turn. He's got 7 health. There's not much I can do really because he's going to do 1, 2, 3, 4. And I can block 2, and I've got 2. I think this is a moot point, right? So, I don't know. Let's just do 1 attack. And then he'll do 1, 2, 3, 4. And then I'll block 2. And yeah, I mean, I'm dead. I've got 2 life, so I'm dead. Kaput. Now, upon being kaput, this goes away, which, you know, is not a bad thing unto itself. So I'm way down here, and I am defeated, so I'll start my turn like this. All right, I'll patch myself up and then I'll go fight the shaman. So I'll come back when that's just about to happen.
2 hours later.
All right, I've patched myself up. I ended my turn here and I healed up and all that. But now we're going to move. We're actually moving here onto a story card, so I thought I'd share that with you. All right, let's put it right here. A land without adventure. In your travels, you have become accustomed to meeting all sorts of individuals in the wilderness or on the outskirts of civilization. Some interactions result in adventures, quests, or even combat, while others take on a more social quality. But now, with the centipede leveling everything from high-rising cities to lowly marshlands, these individuals are increasingly more difficult to come across. Immediately move the centipede 2 hexes towards its destination. Every gem that is within 2 hexes of the centipede head or body are immediately flipped face down. So yeah, a land without adventure. So the adventure gems are going to be turned face down. You know, those that are too close to the centipede, representing, you know, people running away from it. All right, so let's do that. Well, first off, centipede's going to move 2 hexes towards its destination, and I'm running out of tokens. I've got these 2, and I've got 2 in the bucket down there. So 2. Oh, that's actually that way. Okay. And now you see, it says to move 2, but this is the destination, so it will stop there, okay? Because as per the rules right here, centipede always stops upon reaching its destination, even if it would have movement left, all right? So that actually saved us a little bit. I mean, imagine you were playing with like 3 players, like 1, 2, 3. It would have moved 4, but it wouldn't, you know, because of the destination thing. All right. Now, I'm just curious, where is this thing heading next? You can check at any time, right? So it's going to go 2 hexes south of your forge. 2 hexes south of the forge. So that would be 2 hexes south of the forge. 1, 2. So it's going to be heading in a straight line right there. It's always in a sort of straight line, right? It's never going to go kind of crooked around like that, just so you know. Okay, and then every gem that is within 2 hexes of the centipede body or head get flipped face down. All right, so less adventuring for us. Not too bad at this point in the game. And now, as I said before, I'm now fully healed, and I will enter the hex for 1 action, and for my 2nd action, I will engage the shaman. So these guys are mystics, represented by this board. They have 10 life, which is quite a lot, honestly. So 10, and let's see what they do. All right, so mystic humanoid. For 1 surge, attuned. Roll 4 terrain dice, deal 1 damage for each result matching your hex. Now that's lucky for us because they're on the mountain hex, so that's not going to be too bad. And then for 2 surges here, siphon. Deal 2 damage, Deal 4 instead if you are within 2 hexes of the centipede. And it is. Yeah. So that might happen. And then at the bottom here, if any blank at end of round, heal 1. Sort of like what the centipede does. Okay, so let's get a fight on. All right, I'll put my health up here so you can see I've got 10. Let's do it. That's like, come on. All right, check this out. This is amazing. Oop, all right, fine. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Eesh, that's a lot. Okay, and then he's got a dash here or a blank and this. He's got nothing special on here. Here it says if any surges at end of combat round, deal a damage. That's, if ever he doesn't use his surges, but he doesn't have any anyway. So, all right, here we go. We've got 2, he's got 2, so we'll go first, which is always good. All right, what can we do here? Yeah, so going first myself, I would use this agility to flip this over to the shield side, just because I'm kind of chicken right now. Then it'll go to him, he'll actually double the highest attack. Then, okay, so we'll keep this to defend. This is bad. Wow. Okay, so we'll spend, we can spend this. Now I've got here, it says once per combat round, when you deal charge, which is these things, you may recast one of your spent tokens. Okay, I'll spend them, okay. So 1, 2. So that's, no, if I do that, I can't use shields. Yeah, yeah, idiot. But I have to do something. I can't just pass. Wow, I've pretty much painted myself into a corner here. As soon as I play this, I cannot use shields anymore. Oh boy. Okay, I think I'm going to rewind, because obviously I didn't think about this, okay? So if this goes here, and this goes here, and this goes here... Yeah, I've rewound, of course, this is all back to normal. I think I'm kind of screwed. There's no way I can really defend. If I use this to flip this to a shield, then I have to use these, which will make it impossible for me to use the shield. So it's like, okay, so let's use this to flip what? Flip this to an axe? Okay, but then I still have no shields, right? If I flip this to a shield, oh, that might work though. Let's try it. Flip this to a shield. Okay, then it goes to him. He'll double that. Then I have to play something, but I can't play that or else I can't use shields. So I'll use a surge to do 1 damage with my flurry of blades thing. So 1 damage. Let's get him down to a 3 right here. Then he'll do a butt ton of damage. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Ugh, that's horrible. 7, let's say -2 would be 5. Okay, so I'll take 5 damage. Wow. Okay. Then it'll go to him. He'll do nothing. It'll come back to me. I can play a pierce, right? Or a charge. Let's bring that down to 2. And now, it says here, once per combat round, when you deal charge, you may recast one of your spent tokens. So I'll recast that one, actually. So let's do it. Okay, so that's another hit to him. That's 1. And then I will actually do the immolation thing where I will take... Do I do it? Do I take a damage to recast it? But I'll have only 4 for another round. That's too risky. I'm not doing it. Okay, so let's move on to the next round. But he will... damn it. If dash at end of round, heal 1. Flip. Maybe I should have done it. Well, whatever. Okay, let's do it again. Round 2. Damn you, Shaman. Oh, that is a defense situation here, I believe. Okay, let's roll for him. I keep saying roll. Okay, this is pretty much... Okay. Okay, so he's got 3 initiative. That's all good for him. And a chicken wing, and this, and that. Okay, so he goes first for sure. We've got the wing here. It says flip blank to double. Yep. Okay, next. So what's he going to do, actually, before I go to me? He wants to double a surge, which would give him a siphon. Deal 2 and deal 4 instead if you are within 2 hexes. Damn. So he's going to deal 4 plus these 2. That's 6, and I'm at 5. All right. It's my turn. I feel like I've got to keep the shields and all that because he's going to hit me hard. So I might use this just to flip this into axes. Hopefully I can, do some damage that way. So I'll do this. I'll do agility to flip this. Then it's his turn. He'll double the surge. Next, I will be using the axe, but of course he'll get rid of 1 like this. So he'll take 1 damage. This guy doesn't die easy. Then it's his turn. He'll do Siphon. He will deal 2, but he will actually deal 4 because he's within 2 hexes of the centipede. So deal 4. That's bad. So 1, 2, and I'll block. I'll use this to copy that. So 1, 2, 3. So I'll take 1 damage, essentially, bringing me down to 4. Get rid of this. Actually get rid of that too. Now it's my turn. I will deal 2 magic damage. Yeah, so 1 and 2. And then he would deal 2 straight to me, bringing me down to 2. Oh my god, this is horrible. Now, I could take 1 damage to recast Immolation, but I mean, I'm at 2. That's kind of, no. So I'll do another round and hope to do 5 damage in one go. I don't think it's gonna happen. Yeah, I think I'm pretty much done for it, you guys. Holy crap! 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. If he gets no shields, this would actually be doable. Oh wow. Okay, I'm gonna put this over here. Oh wow. I'm gonna recast this just to be fair, but I think we're good. 1, 2, 3. He does have a lot of initiative though. But he's got no shields. He's got no shields! Okay. Is this gonna work? Is this gonna work? What do we have here? 1, 2, 3. 1, 2. Oh my god, we had it. We have initiative. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5, no shields. Boom! And he's not gonna get to activate this because he's gonna be dead before the end of a round. We got him at 2 life. Nice! That's a very nice. Okay. So when this idiot dies, I like how I created him and I hate him. Okay. So reward. You get 1 knowledge token represented by the heart thing. See back of this card. So I talked about this way earlier in the video. So you get a knowledge token. It's going to be a little heart token thing. You gain this after defeating a shaman. It cannot be transferred to another hero. Fine. Can only be used in villain combat. So you will spend this to block any number of damage from a single source of attack. Again, what this means is, let's say you're fighting the centipede and it's got, one of those, butt tons of attack. Something like this. I don't know. Here, right? Well, you can get rid of a knowledge token to block that whole source of attack. That could come in extremely handy. So I will be getting one of those. So voila, I'll put this on my sheet. So now I am free to go engage the actual centipede in proper villain combat. Now, do I want to do that very soon, or do I want to keep sort of buffing up? Because I still have stuff I can buy, right? I've got 2 red cards, which usually you can't do, but I can have 2 weapons because of this. I have a blue token. So 2 red tokens, 1 blue token, and I can go get a green token or a green card to move into another country. Yeah, just to be better at, I guess defending or something, because I do have 10 life, but somehow I keep, she's easily woundable. I guess it's because she's fighting, almost naked all the time. So, I don't know, I gotta think about this. Now, let's look at this guy, okay? Because one of the reasons why you would maybe try to stretch time out a little bit before you go attack him is because you would try to shorten his body, okay? Because, check it out. This is what I'm talking about the size of his body, okay? He'll cannibalize. Remove 4 body parts from the tail end. So on the map, you would pick up 4 of these black tokens, and you would cast them like combat tokens. The centipede heals 1 for every black result. Okay? Then if this is not applicable, you would add 5 body parts to the tail end. So essentially, this guy's going to cannibalize himself, so he'll kind of shrink down, he'll use those tokens to cast them, and maybe heal himself, okay? And if ever he doesn't have any, then you'll add more. So it's kind of a loop thing. So that's what I'm saying. You might want to try to shorten his body just in case he gets the 1 surge, and he, casts those tokens and gets to heal himself. So that's what I was talking about. And if we look here, just for fun, for 2 surge, trample. He'll deal 3, then deal 1 unblockable damage. Kind of a classic thing. And at the end here, for each blank at round end, the engaged hero tests Eyeball. On fail, Centipede heals 2. So this guy's all about healing, and he's got a lot of shielding, and he heals again and stuff like that. And he'll, heal again. So you need a lot of piercing stuff. You need a lot of maybe things that cancel surge abilities, stuff like that. So there you go. You have been forewarned. So what am I going to do? Well, I'm going to keep playing. Now, this might be a good time to mention, but the time tracker was way at the bottom there. And upon moving into the next round, I'm actually moving back to the top of the thing here, of the track. So essentially, we're in Act 3 now, okay? The game doesn't end upon reaching the end of Act 2, okay? And it does say so here. See, it is possible for the game to go past Act 2. If so, keep moving the time token to enter Act 3, okay? In brackets or whatever. So the game actually ends if you're forced to draw the last story card, which is right here. So essentially, I've got 1, 2, and then if I ever reach this, I'm dead. So that means 1, 2, and then a few rounds, and if I ever reach here and I need to draw a story card, then it's over, right? So we've still got like a lot of rounds, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 rounds. That being said, if you let the supply run out, well then that's going to shorten your time a lot, because it says here when drawing the last body part, all right, you'll demolish all civilized hexes covered by body parts, and you'll mark this with tokens, okay? Next, all heroes will become delayed, which is bad. Then you'll test Spirit -1, and on fail you'll be defeated, which is bad. And finally, remove the next story card from the game without looking at it. So essentially, this will cut down on your time a lot. Okay, if ever you empty the supply, well then you'll lose one of those. Let's say we do remove 1 here. We could hit 1 but not the other. So we could hit that one but not that one. So we would have 1, 2, 3, 4 turns instead of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 turns. So you're losing basically 2 turns, which could be the difference between winning or losing the game. So that's another reason why you want to keep these body parts in check. But now, yeah, I'm starting round 1 of Act 3. I'm close to Tamlier here. I wanted to go there to heal myself, and then my plan is to, well, semi-quickly sort of go reach him to attack him, but I really wanted to get more stuff. I want to build something. What would be awesome, like I know I wanted to, I say build, but it's learn. I know this would be cool, because I could deal unblockable damage, basically, and remove his blank tokens, but this is like the most powerful thing in the world. Seriously. I've got a ton of axes. Can you imagine? Like, this would render his shield tokens completely useless. So if I could do this, this would be great. Now, I already have 2 trophies. So if I could get 2 more trophies of any kind, I was actually thinking of going into the caves and doing some trophy work in there. But the thing is, if the supply runs out, if the body parts run out while I'm in the cave and I get defeated in the caves, it's a pain in the butt to get healthy down there, because it's considered a mountain hex, right? And rolling these mountains are a pain. It never works out. So yeah, I might not go there. So I might just go do some little combat and little stuff just to get 2 more trophies. So yeah, so I'll try doing that, and I'll come back as soon as I get to fight the centipede.
1 winner later.
All right, we're moving into Act 3, Round 2, and we need to draw a story card, so I will share that with you right now. Like 1,000 tornadoes. Planning your itinerary, you realize that distinguishing east from west has become somewhat of a challenge. That is due to the sun being blocked from view, a direct cause of the centipede plowing its way through the land, kicking up dirt and dust, the likes of which you have never seen. You fear that amidst the confusion, your efforts to slow the giant down might well be impaired. Immediately move the centipede 2 hexes towards its destination. Oh my god, I only have 2 tokens left, and that's gonna kill everything. Oh wow, okay. Until the next round, the following actions cost +1 action. Ugh. Weaken centipede, destroy body part, engage villain in combat. Oh my god! Okay, who designed this? Oh man, oh that's bad. All right, this thing has to move 2 towards its destination, and I only have 2 left. That's just bad. So he's going to go 1, 2. Now, whenever he runs into a roaming enemy, the roaming enemy gets displaced over to Exile Peak, so that's no problem. So 1, 2. Okay. We can check the next destination just for shirts and giggles. He's going to go 1 hex northwest of Forge. So 1 hex northwest of Forge, that's going to be the destination. Okay. And of course, because he moved, we need to add some tokens. And this is the last token. Okie dokie. So let's read this here. We've gone through this before. So demolish all civilized hexes. Okay, I'll put some tokens to show that later. All heroes become delayed. Okay, so I'm at Tamalier, so I'll delay myself. Then all heroes test spirit, I believe, -1. On fail, I'm defeated. Okay, I think this is going to be okay because I've got a spirit of 1, 2, 3. Actually, 2 is the base, and I do have that. So let's do 3. Are you ready? 1. Oh, yes. Okay, no problem for me. Okay, I mean, I'm delayed, but I'm not defeated. And I've got 10 health right now, so I'm glad about that. Now everything's going to cost more, so I'll leave this close by just to remember. And then finally remove the next story card from the game. That's what I was talking about. Okay, I'm going to have to act fast, because now we're removing this. And this is the story conclusion. This is the last story card. Drawing it ends the game, win or lose. So essentially, I've got this turn, and the next, and the next. And as soon as we move the time tracker, we lose. Or win, you know, if you destroy the centipede, you just flip this over and that's it. But if you don't destroy the centipede and you're forced to move the token, well, then you lose and there's some flavor text. Oh, man. Now, what was this card? You can figure that out for yourself. Ha ha! We can look at it really fast here, okay? Here we go. Feeding on the living. You meet a wild-eyed farmhand recounting a recent attack by the centipede. I saw it with my own eyes, as big as a mountain it was. Crushed by the church. I'm Scottish now. Crushed the church while all them folks had been hiding. And when the beast finally left, I found their corpses in a state that sent shivers down my spine. Grey as ash they all were, thin and wrinkled like dead leaves. I apologize to everyone in Scotland. You tremble at the thought. Then send the man on his way, warning him to keep safe. Centipede immediately moves, let's say 1 hex, and then it heals 1 for each civilized hex covered by its head or body. So it's basically eating, everybody on the civilized hexes. Or just every Scottish man and woman and child. Okay. Alright, so I will mark the civilized hexes, but let's just look at this. Alright, so just for fun, let's see how many of these hexes will be destroyed, right? And destroyed means it's like they no longer exist on the map. You can't enter them. They're not there. It's a big hole in the map, okay? So civilized, we've got your rights Forge. Yeah, your rights Forge. And not too bad, actually. We got Riverwatch. And then Market Town. And then this, you'll notice, I'm actually missing a token. So I just made a crappy one here. Okay, so yeah, basically 1, 2... and 3. So these places are gonna go up in flames, basically. So for now, I'll just put these green tokens here, these dollar store wooden cubes, to show that these places are destroyed. So let's say this, and Riverwatch, and Market Town. So these hexes can no longer be entered. You could get those fiery tokens from Flashpoint Fire Rescue. That would look good, like flaming tokens. All right. Okay, so this is a pain in my butt now. All right, I'm gonna get better, and I gotta go there. I have 1, 2, 3. I have 3 rounds to go there and beat up on him. Now I can still take the weakened centipede action to sort of get some of these tokens off, just so he doesn't chuck too many of them. But at this point, he's got so many on the board. I don't think that's actually worth it. So yeah, so I think I'll get better. I need 1 more trophy. Yeah, while you guys weren't looking, I got another trophy. So I'm 1 trophy short of doing that. Now, either I do that, or I take my 3 trophies and I do this. I really don't know. I don't see what I can do. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, like in 2 rounds, what could I do? I need to be full health. So that's at least an action. You know, like, because I'm thinking maybe I go somewhere, you know, let's say here, and I fight somebody to get a trophy. But then when I leave there, I'll be down, right? Like my health would be down, so I need to heal. I need to move. I need to engage. That's tight. Anyway, I won't bore you with the details. I'll figure this stuff out and I'll come back when I get to fight the villain.
The following day.
So just for your information, what I've actually done is I moved all the way up here. My plan is to try to get one of those trophies, to get a fourth one, and then I'll kind of be close, you know, to engage him. And now it's actually the centipede phase, and we're all out of tokens, right? So what you do in this case is you advance him, you know, one step towards his destination, and then you take one of these tokens from the way down at the tail end, and you just put it where the new one is supposed to go. So I'll take one from the end. It would be that one, but I'll just make a switch because I don't like the look of it. So I'll take it from the tail end, and I will put it here, which was where he was before. All right? So that's how that works.
Early the next morning.
All right, you guys, I've been there. It worked. And I got my fourth trophy, and I built your axes, where I learned your axes cannot be blocked, which is going to be of huge help, of course, in this whole thing. So, yeah. Okay, so we're moving here. All right, I did move the centipede and all that, so we're moving into this round. My first action is going to be to train just to get one more card, okay? Because I've got 3 right now, so now I've got 4. And this is just going to help me if ever I need to exert for whatever reason, okay? My second action will be to engage in combat. And this is proper villain combat. So, this is our setup. I'm not completely thrilled about it, honestly. But, yeah, we'll hope for the best. All right, so let's engage this thing in villain combat. He's got 12 health, which honestly, well, I think is going to be okay. I don't know. My saving grace here, I think, is your axis cannot be blocked. Honestly, because that's really, really strong. I'm going to put my health all the way up here. All right, let's do him first. Woo, that's a handful of things. Ah, man, I'm happy that my axis cannot be blocked, okay? So 1, 2, 3, 4. Man, that's a lot of shielding. We got a chicken wing over here. 2 of these. And not a lot of attack, which is good. Now he's got 1, 2, 3, 4 initiative. And I've got not enough. Okay, so he goes first for sure. So he gets this here, which is restore, heal 1. Okay, and there we go. Heal 1, actually. Now, he cannot go above what it says here, okay? He's at 12 right now, but even if he heals like a crazy mofo, he'll never go above 24. So for a single player, it's 24. Then if you're playing with 2 players, it's 48, and, you know, so on and so forth. So he heals 1. So he's going to add 1 right here. Okay, and then it still says apply combat board text. So he will flip blank to skull. Yep. Okay, so what's he going to do then? Okay, he's just going to do some attack, and he blocks a whole bunch. So let's try to hurt him. I mean, I've got some axes. I could just use the axes to get rid of, let's say, this 2 here. Or 1 of each, doesn't matter. Then he's going to hurt me a bunch. And then what will I do? I can do surge, but he does block surge abilities. That's what the text says here. Right? +1 blocking damage from a surge. Okay, so maybe I use this to flip this. Yeah. Okay, you know what? Let's do it. I'll use the agility to flip this, right? Then he'll do 1, 2, 3, 4. So 4 damage. Now, if I wanted to, I could just spend this to not take that 4 damage, okay? But is it the time to do that? Probably not. I mean, I've got 10. So, yeah, I'll let him do it. So he'll do 4 damage minus the 1. So that'll be 3. Not too bad. And now it's my turn. Now my axis cannot be blocked. That's amazing. So I'll do 4. Wow, that's 4 damage right off the bat. Okay, 4. So let's do 4 off of here, bringing that down to 2. Then it's him. He does nothing. Now, let's not forget at the end of the round, because there's this here, for each of those, I would test my my eyeball, which is 2. It's not very good, though. All right, well, I think I'm going to spend... Oh, actually, yeah. I'll spend this, okay, to give him a damage. And then, because I got Fists of Iron, it says once per combat round. When you deal charge, you may recast one of your spent tokens. Now, I could recast, let's say, this, because if it, lands on axes, my axes cannot be blocked. So that sounds like a good idea. If I recast this, well, this goes through, but this would be blocked by the shields. So I'm thinking I gamble. I'm going to use this. So I'll recast this one here. Oh, yes! So axe is going to be blocked. Okay, so he'll do nothing. It comes back to me. I spend that. That's 2 damage. This is going very well, you guys, actually. Okay, then he does nothing. Then I go, let's say, with this, right? So I'll spend that to do Flurry of Blades down here. But he's going to block a ton of that, right? So he'll get rid of 1 shield, let's say. And then it's back to me. Now, I could suffer 1 damage to recast this thing here. I think I can do that. I'll do it. Okay, so I'll take a damage down to 6. I'll recast this. Okay, so it's 2 magic. So when I spend it, he'll just block it with that. I mean, it was worth a shot. Okay, so first round of combat is done. I need to test my observation or eyeball thing because of this. So I've got 2. Yeah, I've got 2. So let's do this. It's upside down, right? So that was a fail and yes. Okay, so he does not heal. All right, let's go with round 2 of combat. Okay, not a lot of yellow here, so 1-2 basically. A lot of shields again, but my axes cannot be blocked. Yeah, that's pretty much the skill that you need when fighting this guy. Okay, and as for me, here we go. Okay, so I will be going first. Yeah. Okay, a lot of axes. Oh my god, this is going to be pretty easy actually. Huh. I thought it was going to be hard. Well, it's going to be easy because my axes cannot be blocked. And I don't even think he'll get to cannibalize. Well, yeah, he's got a surge here. He might. So let's do this in order here. So, I mean, I could just do 4 right off the bat. That's crazy. Yeah, 4, 5, 6. I think he's toast. Let's do it. Okay, so 4. Bringing him down to 2. And then it's him. He's going to do chicken wing, so he will heal 1. Well, there you go. And then he'll want to flip the blank to a skull. Yep. Then it's my turn. See, he doesn't have 2 now. He's got 3. I could do this. I don't see why I wouldn't, right? So I'll do this. That's 2, bringing him down to 1. And now, once per combat round, when you deal charge, you may recast one of your spent tokens. And I could take a damage to recast Immolation, actually. Yeah, with this ability, I'll recast that one. Well, that's pretty much, it's going to be the end of him, right? Okay, he's going to use Cannibalize. Remove 4 from the tail end, then cast them. He might heal, actually. He might. So funky angle here, but I'll grab 4 from the tail end. Again, this one is just ugly, so I'll sort of move that one to the middle here. All right, so 4. So 1, 2, 3, and 4. And now you cast these just like if they were combat tokens. So here we go. Whoa, he heals 3. How the tides have turned. Okay, so boom, just like that. And now these are put back into the supply. Okay, things got interesting. Now it's my turn. Well, this seems like a no-brainer. Do I want to use this to flip anything? No, I don't think so. So I'll do this. Again, my axes cannot be blocked, so 2, like so. Then he would try to double his shield. And then I could I could use this to try to hurt him with my Flurry of Blades, but all he'll do is discard a shield, basically. Then he'll do 3, but I could block it with this. I think I will. So I'll discard this. So I'll block this whole source of damage. Then it comes to me. Now you see, I thought this was a combat action. It says once per combat, you may take 1 damage to recast this token. Okay, but I guess I could do it now, right? I guess. I'll take a damage. And I'll recast the immolation token. Okay, and my combat action will be to actually use this to pierce or charge, bringing him down to 1. And now he does... Oh, actually, this was linked to that, so that was a mistake. This should have gone. And now it's my turn. I mean, I could spend this to recast one of his tokens, but I don't see why I would do that. So I will just pass and do nothing, and then he will do nothing, and then we start another round. He's at 1. I mean, come on. I'm at 5, he's at 1. I think we're good. I think we're good. Okay, I have no initiative, but I have a butt ton of axes, which is good. All right. Let's see what he gets. All right, he gets a lot of initiative. So yellow here, a yellow again, another one of these, yellow chicken wing. Now, if ever you get 2 of these agility tokens on the same thing, you do activate them twice, okay? These chicken wing abilities, in the rules, it says they're not like surges. You know, you can activate a named agility ability more than once. Just, you know, you probably know that, but I thought I'd mention it. Okay, so he'll go first for sure. So this would be heal 1, then apply combat board text. He'll flip this to skull, which actually does work for him. And then, well, we're good. We're good. We got so many axes. So yeah, he's only at 2. So we could just do, you know, this, and he'd be dead. Let's say he wouldn't be dead if the 2 surge here, 2 surges, trample, deal 3, then deal 1 unblockable damage. Okay, easy peasy. So yeah, we have just defeated this guy. Oh yeah! And we're at 5 health. So all in all, I mean, the saving grace was this. I would be curious to redo this combat without this. I would have sweat a little bit more. So he's dead, so let's flip this over. Now, I mean, I could actually hide the other bit here if you don't want to see it, right? Like if you fail to defeat the centipede. So let's hide it. All right, so if you have defeated the centipede, with their champion beaten, the Puroto invaders were easily driven back into exile. Days passed, and the people of Terrinoth held massive festivities to celebrate your victory. More so, it is said that mages have discovered a way to transmute the giant centipede's numerous and massive remains into precious metals, and some say, even gold. It seems that from all this destruction, Terrinoth will begin a new age of prosperity. Ba 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 ba! Yay! And if you are curious, I will show you the bottom here. If you lose, are you ready? You can skip that. Okay, here we go. Boom. If you have failed to defeat the centipede, within a matter of days, you witness the fall of Terrinoth. With millions dead and everything laid to waste, the Puroto tribes are free to come down in droves from the north and take back the land that they have forever considered theirs. 1 year later, eking out an existence on the outskirts of a Puroto settlement, you start to hear rumors of a possible reconciliation between your people and theirs. You can only pray to Kelos that this happens soon. There you go. So, that was the giant centipede in Obliteration, the new scenario you can download now for only $9.99. I kid, of course, it is free to download and print out and have fun with. I would say though, and I am sort of begging here on my knees, if you enjoy this kind of stuff, if you enjoy printing it out and playing it and all that, and if you enjoy the content that I do in the least bit, please consider donating a little bit of something on the PayPal, okay? Just like buy me a coffee. It's, you know, it's like you're telling me thank you. We enjoy what you do, you know, it's good. Because making YouTube videos does not pay a lot. You want to know? I'll tell you right now. In 365 days, I have made $200. Now you're saying $200? Yeah, hold on. Do you know how long it is to do this stuff? If you actually calculate like per hour, I probably make like 10 cents an hour. I'm not even kidding. I'm not exaggerating. Shooting a video like this is at least 4 or 5 hours. Editing the thing is another 4 hours for sure. Packaging it, making it look nice, uploading it, and putting the comments and the tags and all that stuff. And that's just doing the video. We're not even talking about, you know, doing the actual expansion, which is hours and hours of trying stuff out, and it's just, yeah, it's ridiculous. So again, if you enjoy this stuff a little bit, donate whatever you want. You want to give me $1? Give me $1. You want to give me $1 million? Give me $1 million. Don't give me $1 million. That's dumb. Well, you're the boss. You do what you want. So there you go. So thanks again for watching. I hope you enjoy all of this stuff. And if you do, like, subscribe, comment, all that jazz. Anything you can do can and will help the channel. So again, thanks for watching, and I will see all of you guys on the next one. If you've enjoyed this video, please consider hitting the like button down below. Now, I know it seems like a very small thing to do, but it actually does help the channel when you do that. And if ever you should find yourself in a super generous mood, well, I do accept donations via PayPal. And anything you give, big or small, will help keep me going.
The centipedes are coming. Get your fingers moving fast, and the spider's out to get you. Do you think that you can last?